Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Fake Nerd Podcast. I'm Brandon McClure. With me, as always, is Ben Magnet.
I'm a sleepy. I drank a lot today. Alcohol makes me sleepy. Yeah.
Sparks Witty.
I don't know how Ben being sleepy from alcohol is any different from Ben being sleepy every time you record.
And Ryan Eliopoulos.
I'm just saying, he's not wrong. But that's okay.
I'm not sleepy all the time when we
It
record.
is, in fairness, Ben, it is later. It's not that much later. It is a little later than we would normally. The Super Bowl has happened. I hear. And we're back with another episode.
That we are.
As always. In fairness, Brandon, this is usually when Ben works.
That's true. This is episode 272, and later on in the evening we'll be talking about Nightmare Alley, but we got a lot of stuff to get through before then. So, may I say some links first?
Yes, I guess we will allow it this time.
Ryan!
Hey,
Smoke them if you got them.
like right in front of all of them?
Downright annoyed with movies. Happened.
It did. We talked about a little number called Batman, Under the Red Hood. And that's a movie I've seen a couple times. But rewatching it, that still holds up. Real good, solid look at like what Batman represents, who he is, and like how someone close to him can like challenge his well-being and stuff. And it's like it's real good shit. Jensen Ackles is real good. Bruce Greenwood's real good. Joe DiMaggio, yo man, get that Bender money. You don't fight them until you get every dollar you deserve. He's a great Joker.
So you're saying you checked under and the engine's still good. It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, under the red hood. Yeah, no, yeah, the red.
Right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Red is doing just great.
Boy. I really enjoyed that movie. I watched a bit of your thing, and then one of your co-hosts said some choice things about Robin that were getting a little annoying.
Yeah, sometimes like I'm just like, oh, let's just ignore him. Let's like, yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
You have 2 episodes of Grayson Live uploaded this week.
Yep, I did. Yep. So go over to Grayson Live's YouTube channel to watch it. We're still going through Super Mario 3D World. One of those episodes had quite possibly one of my favorite cold opens, just because it had I just said something and we both started laughing, and apparently I dropped some knowledge about the state of Montana. So there you go.
All right, there you go. Yeah, that's what is that? Super Mario World 3D World
3D World,
Party Kart.
Super Mario 3D World.
Party Kart, right? Okay.
We're going to be talking about Mario Kart much later in the night.
Right. So check those out. Those links below, as well as my Screen Rant work. Again, my author page is still going to be linked below. I put up a couple of what are they freaking called? Pieces of articles of some Oscar stuff. Because the Oscar nominations happened, and I got to write about some of that stuff. And then a Scream piece went up this week where I ranked them according to Letterboxd. That was kind of fun.
Scream or Ice Cream?
It was like all the Scream movies ranked according to Letterboxd, and I had to text Sparks because once again, I forgot the plot of 3.
For like the third time. The first time Brandon couldn't even remember if we watched it. I'm like, bro, I watched it with you. Are you having trouble remembering the villain of Scream 3?
No. I'm just like, you just Google it. You're on a computer.
I know, but I wanted Sparks to remember that I have forgotten again.
Gotcha. Okay.
Me and Megan are on a mission to prove to me that Scream 3 isn't very good because they both forget what happens. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not arguing. Like, it's definitely my least favorite of the series, but it has a solid story.
I'm not here to argue its quality. It's just weird to me that I have a hard time remembering it personally. And
he forgets all our events together.
What'd you say?
I said it's because you were with me and you forget everything we do together.
I do not.
Unless it's on this podcast.
I do not. I forget more about this podcast than I do anything else. All right. I don't like that look you're giving me. But there is a last week I had skipped it, but this week it is back. My revisiting the Infinity Saga. I took a mental health break last week, and I was able to kind of push through that this week and put up a new part of my series of revisiting the Infinity Saga. This was the moment where Steve says, "I don't want to kill anybody. I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from." I think that's a really powerful moment, and I wanted to talk about it. And that's all the links in the description.
Take that, Zelda.
Who wants to go first with their week?
I will. I have the least to say because everything I did is pretty regularly predictable because aside from like the usual stuff of like I'm keeping up on my weeklies, I was busy working on a project that you will never see. So,
guess what? I saw it.
Yeah.
Well, you live with them, so you kind of have like
Hey, for all you know, it's like the Beetlejuice house where the stairs upstairs are locked off. No one can go in my room forever. Never.
That's true.
You never know. That's not the case.
I don't know
though.
how I get here, but
Portal.
How I Met Your Father had another episode, and I liked it. In fact, I liked it a lot. It was the most How I Met Your Mother as far as like setting up good story bits and like good gimmicks and good like weird repetitive but like character forming bits. And I was like, this feels the most like why I like How I Met Your Mother. And so I was really happy to see it. So great.
It was wild. It was wild when she opened the door and her mother is there and it's Paget Brewster. And I was like, oh, okay, Paget Brewster's in the show now.
It was also wild when Megan and I learned that that is the girl that Chandler gets to leave Joey for. And I had not put that together in all the years I'd watched Community, that was the same person. And I've seen Friends more times than I wish I ever had. So wild. Anyway.
I love Paget Brewster.
Watched another episode of Murderville. No, 2 episodes of Murderville. I watched the Kumail Nanjiani and Annie Murphy episodes. Guys, that's a real good time. It's just fun. It's just like light fluff, like go enjoy yourselves. Ben Magnet just tweeted that we're doing this, guys. That's great. Book of Boba Fett. I watched it. I talked about it. You'll hear about it on Tuesday. Go check that out. Fake Nerds Watch Tuesday. Peacemaker. Watched it. Gonna talk more about it. Next week, more Peacemaker. Love Peacemaker. I don't know. I can't really say anything because anything I would say is a spoiler. So I watched like 2 episodes of Mobile Suit Gundam. That's real cool. This particular recent episode I watched is one where after they like murdered a dude who was set up by Char, then the lady who loved him is like, take me on this plane that I definitely shouldn't be on because I'm going to murder the mobile suit that did this to him because she loved him. And then she's like, for this, I take revenge. And Amuro's like, me? After he just like murdered, like, no joke, 20 people on a plane. He's like, me? Why would anybody want a revenge on me? I'm so good. And I'm like, bro, you're like literally standing in the wreckage of a plane of people you destroyed. Why wouldn't anyone want to murder you? Anyway, it's cool because it like shows both. My favorite thing about Mobile Suit Gundam is that like your bad guys aren't just like bad guys. They're also people, and they're doing the things they believe are like good for their nation as a whole, and they're not all driven by just like bad power dynamics. They just happen to like they're on the opposing sides of an ideological war, and like that's reasonable, and it's not just like Xeon Decepticons and Federation Autobots. It's not that simple, and I like it.
I love
Nice.
That's all I gotta say because that's all I did. Everything
Question.
else was me working.
Is the white base on Earth at this point where you're at?
Yeah, but like they haven't officially touched down.
Oh,
they literally touched the ground for the first time because they got shot out of the sky. And that's what just happened.
Wow, so you're
But
really
still,
early. You're really
yeah, they're
early.
they're still not where they want to be. I think
Okay.
they're getting close. They're getting close to where they actually stop somewhere on Earth.
Yeah, you're getting there. That's for sure. You got a lot of good stuff coming up. I'm excited for you.
Thanks, man. Me too.
Okay, it's my turn. I don't know if I did anything else with you besides Peacemaker and Boba Fett. So those are 2 things that I watched.
No, I don't think.
Okay. I didn't do a lot this week either besides like, whatever I watch on YouTube or whatever. I did watch 1 episode of Murderville, the first one with Conan O'Brien. Really funny show. I love that premise.
Oh, real quick, I was gonna say, like, now 4 episodes in, it's very funny to me. Like, I enjoy all the episodes, but Marshawn Lynch, who's a football player and is in the 2nd episode, happens to be my favorite so far because all of the others, and I like all these actors, all the others who come on, they're like people who do improv and people who are like know they can be funny and they're funny actors, and they're like, you can feel them trying to find their bits and trying to find how they can like do something strong. Not that I'm like saying that's wrong, that you could just feel them trying to find the moment for the fun. Yeah. Marshawn Lynch isn't an actor, and so he just threw himself blindly into every scenario, and that honestly made it very entertaining. So like he kind of set the bar, and I don't know that anybody's been able to clear it. That being said, like Kumail Nanjiani and Annie Murphy did a great job on their episodes. I really like them, but there is a different vibe between like knowing that an actor is trying to like find the way to play the scene, and watching Marshawn Lynch be totally out of his depth and just go for it.
I'm excited to watch the next.
There's one part where like they have to go interview a guy, and he comes running out with a baseball bat. And Marshawn Lynch just full blown tackles him. Well, like fully knowing that he's doing the scene and everything, he just takes that dude down.
Normally when you hear athletes go do acting things, you kind of get a little scared because you're thinking, okay, maybe they're not going to be as because when you hear athlete turn actor,
Ace Ventura.
Yeah, it's like that's a little scary. You get a little scared because they might not be as good. But the fact that Marshawn Lynch, a former running back for the Seahawks and the Raiders, just like, F it, I'm gonna have fun with this. Like, I kind of like that. That makes me happy.
He's been showing up though in a lot of like he's like shown up on SNL and like he's like a big personality. He showed up actually. He did like a Clueless Gamer with Conan. He's like a big personality. Yeah. So like,
he did a Clueless Gamer with Conan during the Super Bowl one year.
Yeah, it's cool.
They try to come up with bits usually of like something related to either the victim or like the way they died that will really like trip up the actor and be like, wow, that's really ridiculous and silly. And they're just trying to get a laugh out of them. And like they describe something about the victim while Marshawn Lynch is in the room. He's like, oh my God, that's just messed up. Like he's just genuinely just taking it and being like,
if you didn't listen last week when we talked about Murderville and this is your first time, Murderville is a TV show where it is a cop procedural, but they bring in someone random who doesn't have the script. So, and they're supposed to solve the mystery. And it's like a comedy show that's like in the vein of like, like a Dick Wolf, like Law and Order episode. And it's just really funny to see like Conan like have to improv with like Will Arnett, who's trying to bust his balls, and then like they bust each other's balls, and certain actors who aren't supposed to break character, and like all that stuff is just really funny. And like just highly recommended if you're looking for a good time.
Kumail Nanjiani had a great moment where he made Will Arnett like not be able to get back on track for a solid like 10 seconds. Will Arnett was just like, I'm just gonna let this go.
Yeah, Will Arnett's doing his
recover from this one,
like a weird detective Batman voice. It's really funny. I don't think I did anything else besides I jumped back in the Ghost of Tsushima. I realized I'm just waiting because the next 2 weeks of gaming are going to be really insane and really cool because it's Horizon, the Forbidden West, a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which comes out this Friday. And then a week later comes Elden Ring. So I'm kind of just waiting for those games to come out because I don't want to start anything heavy because I know I'm just going to drop them in 5 days. So I got back in the Ghost to just, it's a big open world game. It's fun. I realize now that I'm getting back into it, I am having the same problems that I had last year when I got into it. I have now the PS5 like upgraded edition, so it is a gorgeous, beautiful game. Like the haptic controller is really cool. I gave it the sparks so we can see when the horses run. It does the cloppity clop in the controller. It's insane. But the gameplay is it's a little too simplistic. It's a little too. I've played Assassin's Creed, I played Far Cry, like these open world, clear an area of enemies missions. Like I've done this a million times, and unfortunately it's not doing enough to really satisfy me. So it's fun in the meantime, but I'm not really being grabbed by the story or any of the conflict. Again, it is kind of like generic, like you're a samurai, like you're now a Ronin trying to get revenge for the death of like your tribe or whatever. I'm like, I've seen that.
Sometime we have to do a pause menu about video game bloat.
Yeah. See, but the thing is, I feel like I still am like the lone wolf because like I look up reviews and this is like one of the highest reviewed games. It's like a God of War for a lot of people, and sure. I just don't see that. So like I'm just really, really excited for Horizon to come out on Friday. Hunt those big tusk monsters. So excited. I went to the comic store and I kind of only read one comic that came out this week, and it's Secret X-Men. It's the X-Men had an election last year, and what if all of those losers got onto a team together? And it's a pretty cool premise, and I like Teenie Howard, and the art's really great. Teenie Howard has a way of overcomplicating her stories because she just likes to have a lot of stuff in her story. So like if you read Excalibur, there's a lot of shit happening in Excalibur. This first issue of Secret X-Men, it's overly complicated, and I see the direction she's going. It's a really stuffed first issue. For the idea, it's a little overcomplicated.
Only issue at this point, right?
Yeah,
only issue at this point.
Yeah, it just came out. Oh, is it a one shot?
Yeah, because it's not a series. It's a one shot.
That doesn't make any sense. No way. If that's true, that doesn't make any sense.
Because we talked about it. We talked about it when it was announced. It was just the one thing.
Well, if that's true, then I don't know what the hell they're setting up. I guess a bunch of stuff in other stories. That seems really weird to make this a single issue. But I still had fun. Still a lot of fun. A lot of great character stuff. I got a bunch of other comics I'll eventually get into. X Lives of Wolverine, they didn't get the shipment at my comic store, so that weekly event I'm now like 2 weeks behind on. So yeah, them's the breaks. And then that's it.
Ben, why don't you talk about your PlayStation 5?
You mother F.
Was I wrong, Ben?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. So I got my PlayStation 5 this week. I know you guys saw it, and probably apparently thousands of other people saw it because I posted it on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere, which quickly became my most like popular tweet ever made.
Wholesome plus Valentine's Day equals views.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, Fanny, she got me a my face.
Go to Ben's socials and you'll be able to watch the video.
Yeah.
Yep. So she hid my PlayStation 5 in my own closet for about like a month, and I had no clue. I didn't even notice it. She hid it under a blanket.
I was so close to a PS5 for a month.
Bro,
yeah.
You couldn't even know.
You could have told me you hit $1 million up there, and I never would know. I never would know.
I definitely know. I could like the best place to hide a gift from you is honestly anywhere that isn't your cabinet downstairs in the kitchen or the fridge.
Because I know where my feta cheese is at all times. That's about it.
I mean, if you were to look at my closet, because I only go to I go to my shirts, and then I go to my pants, and then I go to like the laundry bin. That's it. I just toss my dirty clothes in my laundry bin, and then I take a shirt, I take some shorts, and then I get dressed, and that's it. That's it.
Ben, I love you. This is a long episode. Tighten this story a little.
Yeah, then when we went to go celebrate Valentine's Day, my phone was constantly blowing up with like shit from Twitter, like so-and-so liked it, so-and-so retweeted, so-and-so did this. I'm like, damn, that's a lot.
Yeah. It's
I'm very happy that you finally got one.
Yeah, but I got my PS5. I was playing a little bit of it last night. I got everything transferred over. It's gorgeous. I got Demon's Souls. That's the only game I have. The only PS5 game I have for it. I haven't upgraded like Knockout City or Fortnite to the PS5 version yet. But oh god, it's so beautiful. It is so gorgeous, and that's the biggest thing that happened to me. And I watched the football game with my mom today. I had a bit to drink. But besides that, it's been PS5 all day.
Hell yeah, baby.
All right.
Yeah, definitely get that extended storage so you can just offload all that PS4 off so you have plenty of room for PS5.
It's so helpful.
It's so necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, Ben?
That's it.
All right. I watched the assembled episode of Hawkeye.
Oh, yes.
That dropped this week. I really liked the assembled episodes outside of the Loki one, which I constantly harp on, but I think they're all pretty good. This pretty much covered a lot of what I wanted them to cover with the show, such as can I say it? Can I say him?
Yes.
Kingpin, because I don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't seen it, but like Kingpin's inclusion is at the end of that special, and I felt like they kind of tackled it in just enough of the way that it should. There's a lot of talk about casting some of the other characters and then how they filmed it. They filmed a lot on location, which I didn't realize, like in New York, such as the beginning of the Rockefeller Plaza fight was shot at the Rockefeller Plaza. But as soon as the tree is in frame, it's a set in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really cool that they actually went out of the way to be like, no, let's get into New York. Let's film this in New York.
If you wanted to have a New York feel, like it really does help to film there, even though it is insanely expensive and hard to do.
Yeah. And it paid off. I really enjoyed that. Probably more than the show itself, but it does kind of make me appreciate some of the shows, even if I'm a little lukewarm on it. Like I see a bit more of what their thinking was. It's a little bit more candid than your generic Disney puff piece. Not as much as I would personally like, but it's enough that gets me like, okay, cool. I see what you're going with. I started watching Dota Dragon's Blood season 2, like 3 or 4 episodes in. It's a very good show, guys. Boy, do I wish Arcane didn't come out.
It do be like that.
Yeah, because it's good. It's a good show, but boy, it's the exact same type of show, which is like this animated show based on this lore heavy but not really story heavy video game. So they kind of live in the same space, but they've done so differently. And one of them is a cool fantasy show, and one of them is a masterpiece. And it's like, oh man,
there's definitely Dota's not part of this necessarily, but there's definitely a line of like specifically 3D animation that I've hit that Arcane definitely crystallized for me, where I'm like, doesn't really matter how good the story is. Like if the animation's too crude and poor, I'm like, it just doesn't need to be this bad. And like, I'm not knocking the animators behind it. Clearly they didn't get the resources they needed, but like, I don't know why you're making an animated show if you're not going to put at least the proper amount of effort into it.
Yeah.
At a certain point with 3D animation, it becomes, why are we doing this?
Right.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got like incredible 2D animation out there for other things that are smaller budget. Like just go to 2D. If you can't make the 3D look good, don't do it.
This is Studio Mir's show, who I generally like. So it's good animation. It's just hard for me to go from one to the other so soon.
Arcane ruined art.
Thank God it only comes out once every 6 years.
Yeah, thank God. Honestly. Because if it came out more frequently, it'd just be like, why does anybody bother making anything?
I can imagine like even like a really good animator being like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah,
Look at this.
Just like they just have a picture of Arcane on the wall, like, I mean, I'm never gonna do this.
Yeah.
Their like application is like 10 million people. Yeah.
I do want to actually talk about real quickly a piece I wrote for Kaiju Robot that's coming out in next month's issue. It's a video game company called 13 AM Games approached Kaiju Ramen about writing a piece about a new game coming out next month called Dawn of the Monsters. It's a kind of 2.5D platformer, kind of side-scrolling monster beat 'em up. You play as four different monsters, and then you fight other kaiju. And all the monsters are inspired by like Godzilla, Ultraman, Pacific Rim, the Jaegers in Pacific Rim, and Gamera. And it was one of the most difficult pieces I've ever had to write. But I think by the time I turned it in, it was pretty good. So that's going to be in next month's issue. And check out Dawn of the Monsters. It kind of flew under my radar. Video games just do. But now that I know about it, I'm actually really excited for it.
Ben, it's my way forward.
Yeah, I know. Brandon asked me to check it out, and I saw it, and it's like Rampage, but instead of like destroying and eating civilians, you're trying to save the world, and I really dig it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, I looked at it like it's also couch co-op. I don't know if it's online co-op. They didn't say. I hope it is.
Hope so.
But it does have couch co-op, so that's cool. Anyway, so stay tuned for that. Look forward to that. I'm excited about it. Cool. I watched Halo Nightfall and Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn. One of them I very much liked. One of them I didn't. I thought Nightfall was boring. Nightfall is the story of Colonel Locke. Not Colonel Locke. Yeah, Colonel Locke.
No.
Yeah,
Dawn.
No. Nightfall is Mike Coulter's character from Halo 5. It's his kind of like story before he gets into the game.
Then it is Locke, yeah.
Yeah. He goes on to like a Halo fragment, and it's kind of becomes this like psychological war story about like what being hunted on this Halo on this part of the Halo ring. Mike Holt is very good. There's two characters I really like in it. He's one of them. And that's about all I can say positive about it. It's really not very good, not very well written. It's about maybe 30 minutes too long, honestly. It's an hour and a half, and it really shouldn't have been. But Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn, I actually really enjoyed. This is the one that leads into Halo 4. This is kind of like talking about what the Captain of the Infinity, his origin story when we meet him in Halo 4. We go back to like before the Covenant launched a war on the humans, and then Master Chief is in it, not voiced by Steve Downes. And there's a lot of good stuff. I actually really enjoyed it. It's a really interesting war story. I found the characters to be engaging, and they hid their budget very well. And they made it kind of flow very, very nicely, even though they were constrained by the budget, so they couldn't have these all out like Covenant battles. But I thought they hid them. They hid the restrictions very well, and I just found it to be a good time.
I watched that one, not Nightfall, but the Forward Unto Dawn one when it came out, and I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Out of a lot of the extra Halo stuff, Forward Unto Dawn is like one of the benchmarks of like Halo media outside of the video games.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it was good.
I mean, people really enjoyed it. I remember when it was like just a web series, and it's like, yo, this is really good.
It is weird.
As far as live action Halo media, it's kind of been the golden crown up to this moment in time.
Yes. It's still weird that it's not Steve Downes as Master Chief, though. He doesn't take off his helmet. What are we doing? All right. I watched Dragon Ball Z Tree of Might. This is the one that introduces Turles, who looks like Goku for no reason.
You got
And
my
I-
tweet about that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I understand. It's dumb.
I don't remember because I honestly haven't watched that dub in such a long time, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's I guess it is the Pioneer dub because
It's not in the Funimation dub.
Yeah, so in the Pioneer dub, there's an implication that like Goku's this is the reason that like Bardock's haircut is the same as Goku's is that it's not necessarily a genetic thing of like parentage. It's a like power level thing, and like Saiyan's hairs are actually literally attached to their power levels when they're born. So that's like the lower class warrior belief, and that's why Turles has that haircut.
Nah, I'm okay.
I think now it's just
You can keep that.
it's just generic, not genetic. Yes, generic. Jesus, genetic.
I just always like assumed it's like multiverse. We're just never gonna say it though.
I just figured it's just genetic. If you got your dad's hair, you inherited your dad's hair.
Yeah.
Because Goten has Goku's hair.
Raditz doesn't have Bardock's hair.
Shut up.
Yeah, because Raditz is a punk bitch.
Just saying.
Maybe you're right. Was Raditz born with that hair? Saiyan hair doesn't
Yes.
grow.
Raditz was born with that hair.
Yo, 3 feet long as a baby.
He got his mom's. He got his mom's hair.
There you go. I don't know. I've seen Broly.
Isn't her hair
Or
like
whatever it's
shorter?
I don't
Yeah, she
think
has
it's that short.
Who's
Because Trunks got Bulma's hair.
It's true. That's true.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah, but
All right.
since never mind, we're going down a rabbit hole.
This is a fun rabbit hole though. Ultimately, I kind of found it to be pretty boring. I was falling asleep through it. It's got some good fights. It wasn't my favorite. Cooler's next. No, Lord Slug's next, then Cooler.
Lord Slug is next.
Lord
Big
Slug.
boy. He's a big boy.
Lord Slug's a good one.
And then because of a recent episode of Book of Boba Fett, I decided to watch Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is a Star Wars movie that is growing on me every year. I still think it's a lot of origin, but it's very well cast and it's a lot of fun. And like the more I watch it, the more I'm kind of like, yeah, this is a very good. This is a good time. This is a good movie.
Yeah.
You guys see what Mag said?
Yes, pull it up.
Honestly, Gohan has Yamcha's hair. I don't want to
Shit,
Gohan that dirty.
Oh,
That's
no.
The canon. That's the canon. Like a drunken night, Goku's off on another world. Yamcha stumbles in.
Yeah, except
no.
Gohan's half Saiyan.
That's
Like,
true.
There's no way around that.
It was a threesome.
No, yeah, the half Saiyans they could. Oh God, right.
You think Ryan would know what that is? Not Ryan. Jesus, Goku.
I'm too pure. What's a threesome, mommy?
I was going to look.
Toriyama only knows how to draw so many hairstyles, guys.
It's true. I've seen, listen, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, all of it. Yeah, it's all the same.
I was going to
All
say
right.
earlier that because Trunks and Gohan are half Saiyan, their hair grows and they can cut it and it grows again. When like Vegeta and Goku, theirs just stays the same.
Yeah.
We can't.
So then why does Goten's hair doesn't seem to grow?
We got-
Whatever.
we
It doesn't
can't-
matter.
It does when he's older.
It does.
Oh, you're
I
right.
mean,
It does.
GT, his hair is different, even though that's not technically canon.
All right. I'm tired of talking about this.
Yeah, we can't.
Solo: A Star Wars Story. It's a fun time. I'm really glad I rewatched it. I really like Alden Ehret. Oh my
Grow
god.
from the style that it is. How come they can grow facial hair?
Oh my god.
The writers allowed it.
Yeah, that's true.
Alden Ehrenreich is great as Han Solo, and Donald Glover is great as Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
That's it. Final
I
thing
hope-
on that.
I hope that Lando, if it is true that Lando series is like, yeah, young Lando. I'm like, cool. I also want I want Han Solo back too. That kid deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure when we reviewed Solo, I was pretty positive about it.
I was positive.
because I really was impressed with it in theaters.
I wasn't
Right.
negative.
Even
on it.
though like right up to the moment of watching it, I thought it was a mistake.
I can't wait to go back and we're all like, this is a piece of shit.
I would be stunned because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like I was won over by Alden's performance, and then I was won over even further. By
We'll find out next week.
Yeah. And then I watched Murder on the Orient Express. I am going to see that on the Nile eventually, so I wanted to kind of get
I've
myself
heard
back
it's
into a Poirot mood. I still like Kenneth Branagh as Poirot. I think he's a lot of fun. There's a bit where the train crashes and he just comes out and he goes, "Did we die?" I just thought that was very funny. So I'm excited for Death on the Nile, regardless of
Hey man,
cast.
someone's got to be. I'm glad for it.
And then I finished The Last Annihilation. And this is the last thing I'll talk about. This is the end of Al Ewing's Guardians run, where Dormammu becomes Ego. The Living Planet becomes Dormammu and grows up. It's awesome. Really loved it. It's a big cosmic fight scale that I'd love to see. I love this version of the Guardians, and I also read the tie-ins, which the Wiccan and Hulkling one, which I really loved. That has a lot to do with like Wiccan and Hulkling's prior relationship to joining the Young Avengers, and then after their marriage, or no, just before their marriage, like just before they got married. And then the Wakanda, like the Space Emperor Wakanda one, which I also thought was really cool. But yeah, really awesome. I'm really sad that series is over. I really hope Al Ewing gets another crack at the Guardian someday.
He's a little too busy working with the X-Men, so I doubt it.
I do too, but I'd like to see it.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like I like his Guardians run so much, but his time is now with the Immortals.
And that's it.
Beautiful.
Shall we get into our bread and butter then?
I had a calzone for dinner. Let's do it.
All right, so we got some sad news up top. Douglas Trumbull, a VFX supervisor on Blade Runner, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and many, many more. Look, guys, seriously, look up this guy's model work. This is me talking to the audience. Look up this guy's model work. It's stunning. He passed away this week at the age of 79.
Yep.
And just this morning, it's
a long, good career and a lot of incredible work.
Yeah,
like real happy that so much of his stuff has stood the test of time.
And
it always will.
And it always look good. That's the thing. Yeah,
it always will. We're deep into the good-looking CGI era, and like his shit still holds up.
Oh yeah.
I think you see that. I saw the picture of him worked with the model of the Blade Runner building.
Yes, the building. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Even just as looking at it as a model and him there, it's awesome.
That quality of work in film will never ever tarnish. Like that's something that lasts forever. So that's incredible.
Yeah. And then just about an hour ago, it was reported that Ivan Reitman, director of Ghostbusters and many more comedy classics, passed away at the age of 75.
Wait, say that again. What happened?
Ivan Reitman passed away.
Today?
Yeah.
Today.
What the? Where? I didn't hear this yet.
This was you texted us the Shin Godzilla news at the time that this dropped.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just looking at this.
No,
Man, that's awful.
I honestly was crying. He is a very important director to me. Ghostbusters is one of my favorite movies of all time. Really, really broke my heart to hear this.
Dude, yeah, like I know he did Animal House. Yeah, Ghostbusters, Stripes. Twins he just directed a Twins remake, a sequel.
Oh yeah,
Twins Triplets is coming out because Arnold Schwarzenegger is talking about it right now. That's awful, man. That's a shame.
Yeah.
What a legacy.
Yeah.
He was the body double for Harold Ramis on Ghostbusters Afterlife also.
Yeah. Man,
yeah.
That's crazy.
This really was a hard one for me.
Yeah.
I had to recover from this.
Rest in power.
All right. Some Disney news. Star Wars Ahsoka cast Ray Stevenson as a villain, an admiral villain, but he's not Thrawn.
I love this.
THR did confirm that Thrawn will be the villain of the series.
That makes sense.
Which we already kind of figured.
Yeah.
Ray Stevenson, who flew as Punisher in Punisher Warzone, also in Rome, also just a bad mother effer in general.
And Thor the Dark World.
Yes, he's one of those guys. Volstagg. Big boy. He loves to eat. This is awesome. I love him showing up and stuff. Couldn't be happier. Yeah.
And then it was revealed that Rupert Friend, who has been cast as Obi-Wan Kenobi, which we knew about, will play the role of the Grand Inquisitor, who we last saw in Rebels.
Ooh.
That's really, really good casting. I don't know if you've seen what this guy looks like. He's got, no offense to him, he's got a sneaky looking face. He looks like he's a dude who would murder some fools, right? Put him like in the white face paint or whatever, like give him one of those cool lightsabers. That's what I'm most excited to see. I just want to see that lightsaber.
The spinning lightsabers?
I'm really excited because we're already getting an Inquisitor with Han from Fast and Furious. Sung Kang, I think his name is.
Excuse me, say that again? What?
He's an Inquisitor. Han from Fast and the Furious is an Inquisitor in the show.
Oh, there's gonna be more than one? Well, I guess that makes sense.
So it's him and then the Grand Inquisitor.
Shit, this is exciting.
Yeah, right?
Put my bottom dollar on it now. Vader kills that Grand Inquisitor before this shows up.
No, but this is before Rebels, and he's in Rebels, so he has to live.
Mandalorian.
Wait, is this for Kenobi, the show that comes out soon?
Yes.
Does he have to?
I can't handle it. It's too good.
Rebels, yeah, with Grand Inquisitor, we meet in Rebels. I love the Inquisitors. I'm so excited we're getting them in live action. They're some of my favorite additions to Star Wars canon.
I'm just saying, I bet we flash forward and he kills him.
Maybe we'll see Kanan and Ezra run away, and that's how we lead into, oh my god, you're doing this to me. They're just going to do an Ahsoka episode in the middle of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's going to be the Grand Inquisitor flashback from Rebels.
Look, I'm just saying that time travel exists in Star Wars.
But we doesn't have to.
It's not meant to be used that way.
Yeah.
Filoni himself won't let it.
I'm just
Yeah.
Grand Inquisitor's chasing down a rogue Jedi man who's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sounds cool. I'm very into it.
Yeah, I love the Inquisitors. Like I said, I can't wait for this.
How dope was that Super Bowl trailer that we
Right?
got?
Ben, because you never watched Rebels, so the Grand Inquisitor used to be a Jedi temple guardian with a yellow lightsaber.
Nice.
He read the comic, so
Which one?
he knows. The one where he first shows up when Vader encounters him in the archives.
And Charles
that
Soule.
guy.
So he definitely knows him.
Oh yeah, I do remember that
Awesome.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The librarian Jocasta knew.
All right. So, over on the Marvel side of things, the Defenders series. So all the series under the Defenders, the Netflix Marvel shows, are going to be leaving Netflix at the end of this month.
Wow.
And Disney is expected to said they're going to let everyone know their new streaming home as soon as they can. So probably
Is
Hulu,
there
right?
any reality where it isn't Hulu?
I don't think so.
No.
This is kind of interesting to me because like this marks the first time that Netflix has lost the show they produced from their service.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes, it is, but it's also weird because it's like it's their own thing, but they don't own the
Well, no, I know. This is like if Warner Brothers pulled Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life.
Yeah.
Which is it's the same situation, right? It is a third studio produced Netflix co-production. So like this is the first time Netflix has lost one of those.
I suppose I never thought that they could lose it. I just thought it would start appearing on other places. I didn't think they would lose it because again, like they made it, they own it. So this is interesting that Marvel's like, we're taking back something that people love. It's gonna go on.
Yeah.
Like, cool, fine.
As long as it's still streamable, I think, especially now with their what's it called? Their popularity on the rise now that they're going into like the main Marvel universe.
A lot of people watching Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like,
Go ahead.
real quick, like, I don't know if it's news that Kevin Feige said Moon Knight's going to be like mature. That's not news, right?
That's not necessarily news, but
okay,
it's
like,
cool.
He said that like he's not holding back, which means if they do want to make a pushing R PG-13 show, then it could be on Disney Plus, and Daredevil could tone it down a little bit.
I want to recorrect. He did not say that they're not holding back. He said it's more mature than what we've done before.
Yes. There's a quote that said we're not holding back, but for him means it's still PG-13.
Yeah.
But this will be the most mature thing they've made so far.
Yeah.
Which
Doctor Strange 2 is a horror movie.
Speaking of Moon Knight, did you guys see the Moon Knight Super Bowl trailer?
It is in the drive, Ben.
Are you kidding me? What show is this?
Just making sure.
Real quick, hold on. I gotta leave. I gotta watch some trailers because I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, it's definitely not on the bottom of this list.
Also, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is leaving.
That's what's the next thing I was going to say.
Well, I beat you to it.
Yeah, screw you.
Screw you.
Dad, Mom. Makes sense. Like,
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. makes honestly, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is probably going to Disney Plus. It is not a Netflix produced show, so
isn't S.H.I.E.L.D. still on Hulu? Also, it's just like a joint both streaming.
I'll tell you right now.
I don't
because
know.
that's an ABC show, so I'm pretty sure it's been on Hulu this whole time. It's just also been on Netflix.
I have no idea.
I thought so anyway.
It was on Disney Plus at it was on Disney Plus at launch, and then it left.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a Netflix exclusive. So I'm pretty sure it was on Hulu, or it was definitely on Hulu at some point. I just thought it still was.
Yeah. All right. Ironheart, the upcoming show, has cast Anthony Ramos as an unknown character.
Good for that dude.
It's my favorite character in the Marvel universe.
Anthony Ramos in the Heights and upcoming Transformers.
And Hamilton.
Oh,
yes, him.
He's awesome.
Yes,
cool.
He's getting all the big
cool
work.
I'm sorry. What show is this for again?
Ironheart.
Cool.
We don't know who he's playing, but he got cast. So it's somebody. It's going to be somebody that matters.
Don't be a bad guy. Oh, no. I like you.
They did say that he would be a recurring Marvel character.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
And
Who
then
isn't?
Thor at this point. And then Thor Love and Thunder. This is a rumor, but considering all the other rumors for Marvel things that are coming true, Thor Love and Thunder has rumored to cast Akosia Sabet as Bastet, aka Bast.
Oh, yeah, the Panther God.
Yeah, the Panther God.
Yeah, that's not like a crazy, like, it's Storm. Like, no, it's the yeah, that makes sense.
But it's cool because like this is a character that we met in Black Panther, and now we're seeing this character because Gore the God Butcher is probably going to kill her.
I hope not.
Oh, that's when you put it that way. That makes
That
sense.
would be sad.
That's a
Well,
good
Russell
point.
Crowe's in it to die, I'm sure.
No, that's actually a really cool point. That is really cool that we are expanding, like, not just like the cosmic, but like the cosmos of like, these are the elder gods and Gore's gonna kill all of them. Like, that's actually really cool to see, like, the Wakandan pantheon. That is good for you, Taika. Hell yeah.
Right? I'm excited for this movie.
That movie's this year.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Hyperbolic time chamber me.
Dude, there's a lot of comic book movies this year. It's crazy. You and I were having the conversation. We'll get to it later
Oh, yeah.
about the DC movies.
Yeah.
The Beauty and the Beast prequel series starring Josh Gad and what's his name?
Ewan McGregor.
No, Ronan the Accuser.
Nope,
Lee
not
Pace?
him either.
Nope, not him
Lee
either.
Pace.
Not
Lee
Lee
Pace.
Pace. No,
Not Lee Pace.
He was
No.
Ronan the Accuser.
Yes, I know, but I was
No,
wrong.
he misspoke. It wasn't Ronan.
No, okay. Do you know why I did this? Because they're both in The Hobbit. Luke Evans,
Bard,
Yeah.
the Bard.
Bard the Bowman. Luke
Mhm.
Evans.
Bowman.
Luke Evans.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
waiting for. I knew it. I was waiting for you
I
guys.
said Luke Evans.
Oh, I didn't.
You
hear
said
sorry.
Lee Pace.
No, I said Luke Evans, and you said no. Then I was like, oh, Lee Pace.
Oh.
I said Luke Evans, and then you're
Hey,
like,
okay,
no,
okay.
Luke
I
Evans,
love
Accuser, Lee Pace.
StreamYard.
Nobody heard you say Luke Evans because of StreamYard.
Yeah. Anyway,
Don't
continue.
StreamYard.
Jesus.
Okay. It's not happening.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, it's on hold indefinitely.
It is
So-
delayed indefinitely due to scheduling and creative issues. So
so
not
It doesn't necessarily mean it's dead, but it's
now.
probably dead.
That's fine. We have too
I'm
many things in the
here.
world.
We also found out its title,
we did.
The Little Village. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep.
That's cool.
I have a feeling it is dead.
National Treasure. This is the TV show on Disney Plus. Has cast Catherine Zeta-Jones.
The Little Town. Sorry.
Sparks.
Oh, sorry, Brandon. What?
The National Treasure, the TV show on Disney Plus, has cast Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Can't wait for that to get delayed indefinitely.
I do love me some Catherine.
And she's the lead and will play Billy, a badass billionaire black market antiquities expert and treasure hunter who lives by her own code.
She's Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
That is Carmen Sandiego.
listen, that's great. I will watch that show.
I'm
Like,
still gonna watch it.
I still hope Nick Cage eventually reappears somewhere. But like Catherine Zeta-Jones being like a globetrotting like Indiana Jones is awesome.
I just
Yeah,
want them to go after the stuff from the book from the Bad President from the Kingsman sequel.
Too many. Those are crossing too many.
Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah, he's a bad president in both.
No, he's not a bad president, National Treasure.
It didn't look like that was a really satisfying America in that movie.
Jesus.
Approval rating down.
Look, I'm excited for more National Treasure. I love Catherine Zeta-Jones. I still think we're getting that fourth movie. I'm still holding that third movie. We're still holding that hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into this. I like
It
this.
sounds cool. Yeah.
I'll
I
down
wonder.
the hill that we're gonna get the third movie.
I wonder if it's
She's his cousin.
yeah, it's gonna be like a sister or something like that. Yeah. I wonder if it's gonna be like still like that tone, or they're gonna try something different. Because like just make it like a fun PG-13 adventure. You know, like I wonder if they're gonna try to deviate.
Yeah.
Just make Carmen Sandiego. Just do that.
Bring back Sean Bean.
Sure.
Oh,
Get him out of the
you
ice or
can. He
wherever.
didn't die in the first one. He just went to jail.
He died in jail off screen.
Did he die? I
No.
don't remember.
Not in.
All right. Blade Runner 2099. This is going to be the follow-up to Blade Runner 2049. A sequel series at Amazon is in the works, with Ridley Scott executive producing and potentially directing. He hasn't signed a deal yet.
This is weird because generally when Ridley Scott returns to something he worked on, he likes to wipe away the work that everybody else did in between.
Yes.
So this is surprising because it's like Ryan brought up that like he's mad that everybody really liked 2049, including himself. So now he needs to put his final stamp on it to say like, I know what's good.
And he
even
knows,
though, but he can't erase 2049 because he also liked it begrudgingly.
And he knows anything he makes will not compete with 2049. So he's like, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm going to go 50 years more in the future. And I'm like, all right, it's your universe. Really do it. Fine.
The other reason this is weird is because it's going to Amazon.
Yeah.
Which like, I just don't understand from a perspective of like wanting to get subscribers for HBO Max, why you as Warner Brothers would sell this out to Amazon. But I mean, sure, whatever.
Especially because Raised by Wolves by Ridley Scott is on HBO Max.
Maybe my thing was maybe they don't want two competing big sci-fi shows like being on the same time. Maybe
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But you just air them at different times.
No,
of the year,
yeah, no, I know, but like maybe they just don't want to like put too many eggs in that one sci-fi basket.
It's just weird. It's weird to not only not want to bolster your own service, but also willingly help competition.
Maybe they honestly said no. What if they just said no? And he's like, I'll take it somewhere else then.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, honestly, like, what if they're like, oh, it's not good enough? Like,
Yeah,
that could
maybe.
be the reason.
It is nice that he's not wiping away 2049. That is a great movie.
True.
Yeah, all right. Is Blade Runner, because there's the Blade Runner anime out right now, so like Blade Runner is really getting a presence on TV.
It's got those comics too.
Yes. From all accounts, at least my coworker, the anime is not good. So
it's on Adult Swim.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Another
Future
property. Sorry.
It's okay. Futurama. A revival Futurama television series is happening. The table read is on Monday. They've ordered 20 episodes at Hulu.
I've never seen a group of people go from excited to disappointed faster.
Yeah. Because David X. Cohen and Matt Groening are coming back to develop it. Billy West, Katie Seagal, Tress MacNeille, Maurice LaMarche, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, and David Herman are all returning, and they are looking to recast Bender by the table read.
Bender bending Rodriguez.
So John DiMaggio is at this time not returning.
It's because they don't.
Although they were still in negotiations.
Yeah, he wants more money, or the other way around. Like they're not paying him enough, and he thinks he deserves more money, which he is one of the greatest and biggest voice actors of our time.
I think the reality is that they probably are offering to pay him probably the same they're paying the returning stars. But the thing is, like, he is a voice actor who earns more on his projects now than they do.
No offense,
no offense to them, but he does.
Yeah.
And like on all the projects he does, he earns more. Therefore, he wants to keep earning the amount he is owed as a performer rather than like reducing it because
also this is the third time Futurama's come back. And I just don't care at this point. Like, I didn't very much care like when it got rebooted like 5-10 years ago. Like, I watched it, but like it was good, but it wasn't the same. And then like it was on Fox, and then they got canceled and moved to Comedy Central, and then it got canceled for 10 years again. Like, this is like the third time it's come back, and I'm just like, especially without Bender, I don't care. I don't think I care.
Yeah, if it doesn't have DiMaggio, well, here's the thing, like. It'll be weird if it does come back without him, DiMaggio, on the cast, because like already it's got tons of people saying like we don't give a shit if he's not there.
Yeah.
And then you also have voice actors coming out and saying like we would never take work from DiMaggio, so we're not doing the audition. So I'm like, you're not going to get anybody like really high profile to fill in that role. So it's gonna be lower class no matter what you do. No offense.
And both DiMaggio's people and Amazon Hulu have said they want him. They want to come. He wants to come back. They want him back. It's just the money thing that they're stalling negotiations on.
They'll have to figure that out. I'm all for it. I did enjoy all of Futurama, so
I did too. I actually really enjoyed the last batch.
Yeah, once I heard that they were bringing back Futurama, I'm like, oh, cool. I liked watching Futurama. And then I hear this, I'm like, it's one of those things where it's not the same unless they're all there, you know.
Yeah,
it's not like DiMaggio's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's not like DiMaggio's dead, but at the same time, DiMaggio and Bender's, respectively, Bender's the face of Futurama. Like you say Futurama, you think of Bender, you think of the ship, you think of those are like the top two things you think of. It. They're on like 90% of the marketing material.
Yeah,
I mean, my mind jumps to Zap Brannigan, but I get you.
Whose doesn't? Yeah, I hope. I hope. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm sure he'll come back. I just hope it's soon.
It'll also be super weird because like let's say like they don't get him for season 1 because it's too late. Then he does come back for season 2. Then they shit on the first actor.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to that guy either. So it's like
Yeah,
it's like a
exactly.
lose-lose either way. I feel like.
I also, if they do find a voice actor to replace John DiMaggio, and then they double back and they cast him for season 2, I'm gonna feel bad for that first guy because that first guy, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. He's whomever that person is gonna be, they're screwed. I'm gonna feel bad for him.
Yeah.
That's a good exploration of Ryan's point, Ben. Good job. I agree. No, I agree. You
No,
made a
I'm.
good point.
Never mind.
All right. Hey,
Ben, I say
Megamind.
I mean it.
He says it with love. And if you didn't catch that, I was talking. I apologize. A Megamind sequel series is coming to Peacock.
Never. This is a dream come true.
The series will follow Megamind learning to become a true superhero as his trusty brain bots record everything, making him the world's first superhero influencer.
Oh my god!
It's
a sequel show.
I've wanted more Megamind for forever.
10 years. 10 years.
So happy.
A while.
The only thing I'm waiting for is to know we're getting the voice cast back, specifically Will Ferrell.
Listen,
I mean, I can't imagine you doing it without him. But
what's
they
Brad,
do this all the time.
What's Brad Pitt's name? Plutonian
Metro
Man?
Man.
Metro Man. Does he die in that movie? Right?
No. He retires.
Okay. Please get Brad Pitt back, just because I want.
Yes.
I just love. I love
retired Metro Man.
I love him.
I get your trepidation, Sparks, because they constantly recast their voices for their TV shows.
Yep. Yeah. If you don't have Will Ferrell, it'll be a significant dip. But the creative team behind the scenes is coming back, and so I'm like, yeah,
cool.
I've Megamind's hardcore one of my favorite DreamWorks projects for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like How to Train Your Dragon and then that. And I loved Megamind. I thought Megamind was a beautiful love letter to superhero as a like superhero comics,
kind of ahead of its
as a
time.
Medium, ahead of its time, honestly, because the boom hadn't happened, not really. And Megamind was really hitting at that sweet spot of a moment. And unfortunately, I really don't think you would have gotten something as thoughtful as what it was had it not been made at the time that it did happen. Because if it was made now, I don't think it would get the same handle.
It wouldn't be the same, yeah.
Right. But I really love it. I think it's such an incredible piece. I think it's definitely gotten a lot of attention with the popularity of the Megamind third act moment where he appears from the sky. That's
presentation.
It's a big meme for the past few years, and I think everyone's realized, everybody actually really loves Megamind, so they should come back to it.
Hell yeah.
That one is one that's held up really well over time.
Mm-hmm.
I did a list, I think last week, that I really enjoyed writing, which was a ranked list of all the top 10 DreamWorks animated shows that are based on movies. And that was really fun, kind of exploring what people really like and how they and what they thought of the like Kung Fu Panda first series or both Madagascar shows, or both the first two had a Train of Dragons. Like,
I was
it
about
was
to
really
say,
cool.
there's 10 shows. I didn't even.
There's a lot more than that.
That's crazy.
Like the Trolls show, Spirit. There's 2 Troll shows. There's tons of those shows. Like Turbo with Ryan Reynolds has a show.
The snail one?
The snail one.
Yeah, the snail had a show.
The home movie, like
The home show.
pretty much everything that isn't Shrek that DreamWorks has made has had a spin-off.
Aliens versus Monsters.
There's a Puss in Boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Get out of here, guys.
Yes.
Come on. What are we doing here?
There is a Monsters versus Aliens.
I knew you said that, being like 100% it does not, and I'm like, no, for sure it does.
That's fine.
The-
That movie's fine, yeah.
The Puss in Boots show. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, so that was a lot of fun to write because there's so many of them and kind of like re-exploring these. I've seen most of them.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like something real special out of Megamind because I
Me too.
some kind of follow.
Oh, the second Crudes show that is on Peacock, that didn't make the list, but the first one did. Apparently, people don't like the new one.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah, right.
Wow.
That there's 2 Crude shows too.
Yeah, there's the 2D and the 3D.
They're so good, and those shows are.
Too cool for me.
Yeah, I hope for the best. Honestly, I would love for this to be the best of all the DreamWorks shows. That's the ideal. Because I love Megamind too much.
It's rare. It's
Very
rare
much
that like. Sorry, go ahead.
This is very much a product of like we were in high school ish when Megamind came out, so like it hits differently for us. But this is, I think, very much speaking to a moment of like specifically kids who were young when Megamind came out, and that they get to the high school age that they're a decade on now, and they're like, you know what, Megamind still holds up really incredibly well, where a lot of these other ones didn't.
Same with like Sky High. Those are two like superhero centric.
It's aged into the superhero boom rather than like getting surpassed by it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's rare that these shows have like the creative team for the movies with them. So
I'll be honest,
that's really cool.
If Will Ferrell isn't in it, I just don't know if
that'll be tough. Him and David Cross. I believe it's David Cross who is his companion.
Sidekick,
Okay. Moving on to some comic book news. DC is coming out with a new crisis called Dark Crisis. So jumping off of the death of the Justice League, which I just found out takes place in the near future, and so does this. Dark Crisis takes place in the near future of the DC Comics universe and will be a 7-issue event written by Joshua Williamson and Daniel Sampier, who's doing the art. Dark Crisis 0 will be out for Free Comic Day and has as Williamson and other writers. And then Justice League Road to Dark Crisis. So actually it's a 9-issue event series.
There's a 0 and then a Road 2 and then
a Road 2 and then the 1, yeah.
Get out of here.
Anyway.
Yeah, only 7 issues. Cough 9, cough.
I'm going to, real quickly, this is just the brief synopsis of what it is. In the near future of the DC universe, the Great Darkness, which has just been reintroduced in Justice League Incarnate, was an Alan Moore creation, is being used by Pariah, the character from the first Crisis, to destroy Earth Zero in a move that will bring back the infinite multiverse and his original world, which has now happened 3 times. The infinite multiverse came back in Convergence and in Death Metal.
It's be happening. Hey, it's a time's a loop.
Yeah. All right. This is all going to take place with like the legacy heroes, the current legacy heroes. So like John and Yara and all of them, and will be about finding the original Justice League. So their death will be short-lived.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm super mixed, mostly negative on this. I'm really excited that we're finally getting to the 5G of my dreams, where the young heroes are going to be the Justice League and get focused on. Clearly, just for maybe just this event. The Great Darkness being the biggest evil of all, the real evil of all the evils. Boy, howdy, does that sound stupid and generic.
Do you think there's some amount where like this is turning into them just like testing the waters and pushing the boundary to see if they actually can just go full blown into moving the legacy characters up? That's really optimistic thinking, but I'm just curious if you think that's possible.
Not if this is a search for the Justice League. I don't think there would be.
No. I get that. Like, obviously, like, but like that they're watching to see how all the titles are received during the interim.
Yeah.
To see, like, could we really go for it?
I want to believe.
See, there's not an interim because it's going to be Death of the Justice League and then this event, like boom boom. So all the titles that have Superman and Batman and whatnot, they won't be affected by this at all.
Yeah. I'd like to believe that like there will just be like a changeover, but that's not gonna be okay. It's like we're still getting Batman 1047 with Bruce Wayne. Like this is all still happening with all this.
I do wish that they would keep the
wait. I'm playing catch up.
Okay.
So Death of the Justice League will happen.
Yeah.
And they said when they announced Death of the Justice League that it's going to have the same impact as Superman, where like you went to the comic store and like these characters, they weren't in the comics for a while. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And you're saying now that's not going to happen.
Yes.
Why are we doing this?
Right.
Again, this is why I'm saying like 5G was going to be this big set. This is not 5G, but in the same way, like it was going to be this big thing, and then it turns out it's not that thing anymore. Whereas like this was going to be a big thing, and maybe they got
like, why did they even like go out in the pressers and be like, yeah, you're gonna go to the comic store and you're not gonna see these characters in the titles?
Because they don't think of marketing more than a week ahead of the next big marketing push.
It is a bummer because like as much as what I would like to see, I don't mind this event. Like that's fine. I haven't read the Justice League Incarnate issue where this is set up yet. I'm still behind, but like the idea of leaving it to the legacy characters, because none of the legacy characters have ever been left alone for more for extended period, except for maybe Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
So like having this new legacy characters take up the mantles and do that and really like push it, like that's something I'm interested in. But they keep using the language of this is the near future, so the books are going to catch up to this, skip this, and everything's going to be fine. Don't worry.
It sounds
about
like future state now, where they're like, this is what the future could look like. It's like. It is almost like they are testing the waters, but like they're not confident to actually just do it. They're like, here's a maybe future. Like with everything they do is a maybe future.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, whatever.
It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I'm excited to read. I will probably at least check out the first issue because like I want this Justice League.
And it's really cool.
John.
It's really cool. Like you guys talked about, like Empire, which is a whole event centered around a gay marriage. Like it's really cool that like this is a whole event that is centered. Like I know the Justice League are in it and they'll be back by the end of it, but like this is a whole event centered on those characters, on those legacy characters.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like good for them for doing this.
Yeah. What I immediately thought of was just making this like like a 6, 7, 8 issue event, and then like the heroes will potentially be back right after. That's not really any time for me to have any real stakes. Like what this should have been is something like 52, where it's a weekly big ass event series where you are following a bunch of these side characters while the big guys are taken off the board.
Yeah.
This 52 is a weekly series. You followed like Monica Rambeau. Sorry, the Question. What's her name? Renee Montoya. Renee Montoya. Yeah. Like she was like one of the main characters of that book, and like for like 52 weeks, and like that is a really cool idea. This just feels like they had a cool idea, then they got cold feet in the end.
I definitely would have rather just a whole year where the Justice League are dead.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Oh my god, that's the dream.
Me too.
What if we get to the end of the event and like it's supposed to be that they find the Justice League and everything goes back to normal and they're like, psych, you can't fix this. And then like they're just dead. And then the titles have caught up at that point. They're like, this is where you're at.
And then it's
now.
a picture of the DC offices with all the editors flipping you off. Like, I hope you like Superman is John.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
dream.
like,
God,
it's gonna take way longer to find him. Oops. Thanks for buying this event.
I mean, I'm just saying you can cancel one or two Bat books and nobody's gonna care.
Dude, I was just at the store and I only had like 2 books in my pool. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna check out some other stuff. So I was able to pick up some back issues of other stuff. And like there was like 4 brand new Batman #1s. Like there's a Zdarsky one, there's another one, there's another one. I'm like, I'm sure these are all good.
Every Bat book is somebody's favorite.
But like seriously, there's an entire section of just Batman books. And I'm like, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Too many.
But you know what is gonna happen, Ryan? You'll happily pick up Thunderbolts by Zeb Wells and Sean Izaakse.
You're damn right, because it's a sequel book to this comic right here, Villains for Hire, which is a Devil's Reign tie-in.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke that they should just bite the bullet and make an event where all of DC is Batman, but they've already done that.
It's called Dark Knight's Metal.
I know.
Twice.
I know.
Yeah.
This will be picking up the seeds from Devil's Reign. We'll focus on a team consisting of Clint Barton as Hawkeye, America Chavez as Miss America, Monica Rambeau as Spectrum, Victor Alvarez as Power Man, Kara Kilgrave as Persuasion, and we'll introduce a new character named Guts and Glory.
I like that name, Guts and Glory.
Me too.
Gutsen. That's a really cool team, and a lot of people were confused because this is a very new take on the Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolts are generally villains posing as heroes, and these are all heroes, right? Mm-hmm. Currently, right now, Devil's Reign, Kingpin is the ruler of New York, and superheroes are outlawed, so the heroes right now are villains. So the Thunderbolts are doing the reverse. They are going to take back the mantle of Thunderbolts. We are going to be heroes taking back a evil New York from the people who are running amok. So, like, I'm cool with it. Hawkeye's getting a big push. I just love the Thunderbolts, and I like Jim Zub, so I'm about it.
Yeah.
We're not checking the comments in this right at all. Mag said a lot of stuff, but I can no longer relate that what they were talking about. But real quick,
fresh news.
Rich Evans. Ooh. Real quick, I will say that we did watch the Dr. Evil Super Bowl ad. It's the only celebrity one we watched. I really liked it because it brought back the whole team.
That was funny.
Ben, pull it up.
Yeah. It's like, what do you Dr. Evil Super Bowl ad? Funny is it? It's like,
yep.
All the original actors came back, and I was like, yeah. I was like,
yeah, that was cute.
It made me. I love Austin Powers, and I was like, oh man, they still got it. I
don't think I would have liked it if it had just been Dr. Evil, but the fact that it was the whole bit and they were doing all the like him disrespecting Scott stuff, I was like, man,
they still got
this is real good. This is good energy. I like it.
Yeah.
Who's Rich Evans?
He's from Red Letter Media. He's a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm hurt.
No,
he's
a handsome man.
That's another comment that Ben didn't bring up that we've referenced.
That's okay.
No, I did bring it up because apparently Fresh News thinks that Sparks look like Rich Evans.
Okay, moving on. A new collaboration that we just heard about today, Shin Japan Heroes Universe, is coming. So it's some sort of collaboration between Toho, Studio Kara, Superaya Productions, and Toei, who own in this order Shin Godzilla, Shin Evangelion, Shin Ultraman, and Shin Kamen Rider. which are all done by Hideaki Anno.
Yes. So basically, this was just an announcement that there is a Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness happening between all the properties that Hideaki Anno has now produced, which was first Shin Evangelion, which was just Evangelion Rebuild, the first one. Then it's Shin Godzilla, and then he's doing Shin Kamen Rider, which is coming out this year. And then after
Ultraman is this year.
Ultraman's this year.
Ultraman's this year, Kamen Rider next year. And then after that, there's going to be some new project that he's going to be working on involving all of them. I don't even know what that could be because all of those universes are so drastically different. And like Ultraman is super god-like, and Godzilla's very, like man versus like myth. But it's Hideaki Anno, and like Toho's allowing it.
I don't know, man. There's a story to be told with that. What was going on with that tale,
dude? I'm like Shin Godzilla and Evangelion like together blows my effing mind. And there's toys out that you can spend way too much money on.
Right, it's not the first time because there's that ride at Universal in Japan.
Yeah,
which has the Avas fighting Shin Godzilla.
That's so cool, and this is this is years away. Oh god, this is years away. So like we need to see like 2 movies that haven't come out yet. But like this is the announcement of like, hey, everything you've ever wanted is coming true. Like
this is like hold on, Ben, real quickly. To put this in perspective, this is like if Universal, Warner Brothers, Disney, and who's the 4th studio now? Sony collaborated on one thing.
You know what?
Yes,
that's maybe a little.
It's more like honestly, it is like a Marvel DC crossover would be happening. Something to that level. But
I mean, like these 4 studios are big studios. That these are very big properties that they each collectively own. It would be like if they finally let Daiei and Toho team up to do Gamera versus Godzilla. Like this is wild that these companies are willing to be like, yeah, let's collaborate, let's do this, let's make this whatever this is going to be.
This is like the Shin Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
I am not going to get too hype yet.
It's years away, yeah.
Because I wouldn't be shocked if it just ends up being like a cool merchandise line, and that's the end of it, guys.
I'll buy that shirt. I don't give a shit.
Hey, if I could buy a shirt with the Eva and Godzilla,
like big media.
Yeah, they said the first thing in their announcement was like the first thing is going to be just like merchandise. They did say that, so it's going to be like I think the first thing is like paintings and like
they already showed a logo of like the 4.
I'll buy that sticker. It's cool as hell.
Yeah, I think.
Buy a thing with the Godzilla and Eva on it. That'd be freaking sweet.
This is just I just thought this was really cool. We talked about like how it's cool that he's doing this type of rebooting throughout the different studios, and now having them all under one kind of roof under him is really neat. I'm excited to see what this is, no matter what it is.
So would this be considered the Shin universe or the Anno universe?
No, it's the Shin Japan Heroes universe.
Interesting. That's what it's called. Heroes universe. Yeah.
I just want to call it. Can I just call it the Shin universe to keep it short?
Shuju. Rebel Moon.
Still a better name than any of the Sony ones. So.
Spunk.
Rebel Moon has announced its full cast. This is the Zack Snyder Seven Samurai Star Wars space movie with Sofia Boutella. Charlie Hunnam, Jimon Hansu, Bae Duna, Ray Fisher, Jenna Maloney, Stas Nair, E. Duffy, Charlotte Maggi, and Sky Yang have joined the cast of the film to round it out. Not a lot is known about the characters at this time, except for Hansu is playing General Titus. Bae is a nemesis proficient with a sword and with a sword, and Ray Fisher is playing a resistance fighter named Blood Axe.
Blood Axe. I'm ready. I'm cool. I'm ready for a cool sci-fi action movie, baby.
Me too.
I'm glad Ray Fisher gets to team up with Zack Snyder again.
Me too. Yeah.
Also, the movie's going to be in 2 parts. That was also announced. It's a 2-part film.
Okay.
That they're filming back-to-back this summer.
Right on.
The Matrix Resurrections was in the news this week because Village Roadshow Entertainment Group, the main company who produced it, are suing Warner Brothers over the HBO Max day and date release for obviously what they feel is lost revenue. Mm-hmm. The suit claims specifically that the move was selfish and made without regard to the other subsidiaries, which they're right.
I'm just confused why they didn't do this when everybody else was throwing up a fit about the HBO Max streaming dates.
Probably had to wait till the movie to be released.
I would.
Did they? Because Denis Villeneuve was already kicking up a storm way before Dune came out.
But this wasn't. But he wasn't suing about
it. Yeah.
Yes. I guess.
Yeah, maybe they could contractually they had to wait and I don't know. But man, just like ScarJo, if you deserve money, no matter how rich a studio already is, get that money. Yeah, you got screwed out of revenue because it went straight to streaming. Absolutely, even if it's a little bit.
Dune
even
made
though
a lot.
Resurrections wasn't the hypest movie ever, it still would have lost money.
Dune made money though, right? It made a lot of money. Yeah,
Dune did pretty alright. It definitely did better than Matrix.
There was a lot of real quick, Ben. There's a lot of talk about Godzilla vs Kong and Dune, those types of movies. I had a big push to be and mostly Legendary did this to be you got to see this on the big screen. It's got to be done on the big screen. So that was a major push for them. Whereas the Matrix was you could watch it on HBO Max. You don't even have to go to the theater.
Yeah, I would see that. I would see Village Roadshow doing that because it's honestly, I'm glad I saw it on the big screen. The bigger the screen, the better for that one.
During interviews with Keanu Reeves and stuff, Stephen Colbert, remember it was so streaming on HBO Max, but also in theaters, guys. More importantly, because they got to remind you that they sent them to say streaming in streaming. I'm man, that's a bummer.
But yeah, get that money.
Yeah.
Movie Pass has risen from the grave.
I thought this was a joke. Which necromancer out there decided to bring this thing back?
The movie Necromancer.
Dan Murrell, who loved Movie Pass. No, I don't know. So yeah, Movie Pass is coming back. What we know is it's going to be launching in the summer. There are no price points at this time. It's going to be a tiered pricing system. But however, it will run on tradable credits that will roll over every month. And when you get those credits by viewing ads, you have the option of viewing ads that your camera will track that you've watched it. It will make sure that your camera will make sure that your eyes are on the screen.
Yeah. And
you can bring a friend.
So Movie Pass, it was the greatest deal in movies. What is it Was it $5 a month?
$10 a month. See any movie you want.
Yeah,
and
that's stupid.
And then quickly started going bankrupt. They locked people out of their accounts by changing people's passwords.
Yeah,
they limited it to 3 movies a month.
The end got real weird there. I'll tell you what, if they can come back and they can still offer me, because again, I don't have a close AMC. If there was one close to me, I would do AMC All Access being Bong Pass.
Yeah, it's not that far.
I'm not. It's more than I want to drive if I want to go to the movies every day.
Sure.
You got a movie theater practically across the street. I get it.
There you go. So if I can have a Movie Pass and go to the theater that is 5 minutes from me, I will do that. I will buy Movie Pass again. I'll watch a stupid ad on my camera. I'm on my phone friggin' 20 hours a day anyway. Who cares?
The guy who bought Movie Pass, one of the guys who bought Movie Pass, he developed this technology for another company. I believe it was a video game company. Mm-hmm. So he's using it for this one. Yeah, look, if Movie Pass can successfully make a comeback, do it. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, again, make it cheap enough. Hey, even if it's you could see 2 movies a week for $15, I'll do that. That's $7 a movie. That's hella cheap. I'll do that. 100% easy.
I think the AMC model is very good. 3 movies a week.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's more than I would do, and that's still a great deal. Yeah. Yeah.
The problem came from people could just go see a movie anytime they wanted.
Every single day. You lose money. I get that.
Yeah. So yeah, go for it. Be curious to know what that pricing is.
Yes. What would be your limit, Brandon?
I don't think I'm ever getting rid of AMC A-List. But to entice me, if AMC accepted it, probably $15, 3 movies a week.
I think I'd have to see what they give me first. For a hard yes.
Yeah. And it's tiered, so there's gonna be 3 options. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, they could do 1, 3, 5. You pay more if you want. That actually could be really good for me. Actually.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is the responsible thing to do when theaters are trying to recover from the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, I'm a broke person, so I'm looking out for me.
No, I get that. Look out for you. I just, I'm
not looking out for my local movie. For Harkins.
Were this to be successful?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they have to say yes to it, so that's on them.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how beneficial this is long-term for the theater industry that's trying to recover.
Sure. And they should sign up for it then.
And they might not. We don't know which theater chain has said okay to the Movie Pass at this point. They didn't say every theater, because Regal and AMC aren't going to accept it because they got their own.
It's probably Harkins and Cinemark. Is that a different one?
Cinemark,
yeah. It's probably the other ones that aren't the
Yeah.
big ones.
Maybe.
Well, Cinemark has one too, actually. So they probably won't even take
okay.
it.
All right.
All right. Should we get into our next topic?
Sure.
I believe we shall. Or should. That's it. Should. Welcome, gamers, to Basement Arcade Pause Menu, the show where we hit pause, sit back, and just chill. I'm your host, Ben Magnet. We have invaded the Fake Nerd Podcast because we are talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened this week. I am joined by my bros, Brandon T. McClure,
No.
Ryan Iliopoulos, and Sparks Witty. So, gentlemen, how'd you guys enjoy the Nintendo Direct? Because, holy shit, my wallet and bank account are crying and they want to murder me.
I legitimately thought he was going to end it with, "Gentlemen, start your engines."
Nope. I'm cool. Like, I'm nowhere near as hype as you. Sorry.
Well,
I'm just
well, let's get into it. Why?
I thought it was fantastic. I was almost interested in everything that they showed me.
Brandon, did you want me to take the reins? Because I have the list up right here.
If you got the list, do it. I don't want to read this.
I got the
List
list.
it,
So, let's start with Nintendo Switch Sports. As a bunch of us know, Wii Sports is the most popular Wii title ever. It was a pack-in title. It was essentially the game that sold the Wii, and it's coming back in a way with the Switch. And we got a gameplay trailer. There's a demo that's coming out that you can play 3 of the games, and it's coming out on April 29th. And I think this is going to sell so many more Switches, and so many people are going to get this game.
I'm excited for this.
If you didn't already have a Switch, like this will get all the casual people who had Wiis and made the Wii the most like high-selling console of its time. Like this is like sports is a very fun casual game. Like if you like bowling and tennis, like it's a really good time. Like it's a good party game to have with your friends. Absolutely, yeah.
I was watching the Direct, and with the of course bowling was like, I want to say bowling was the sports Wii Sports bread and butter.
Mhm.
But then now you have games like
I was a tennis guy.
Yeah, you got the sword fighting one. You have badminton. You have so many others. It's just like, damn, that I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because the Switch actually surpassed the Wii in sales right now.
Mhm.
It beat the Wii
Hell
in
yeah.
sales, and now this is probably just gonna make it even more. Mag in the chat, he mentioned Strikers is a shockingly surprise upset.
We got to save that one for later.
Yeah, we're saving that one for later. I'm just gonna go down the list. Holy shit, this was a big one, gentlemen. You may remember about one of my wishes this year from the holiday special
Yes.
about Mario Kart 9. We're not technically getting Mario Kart 9, but at the same time, I don't think we need Mario Kart 9 because instead we're getting a DLC bundle that includes 48 brand new, or not brand new, but 48 new tracks, which doubles the original lineup on the game cart that you can put in right now.
And it's only like $25. Or if you
$25.
have the expansion pass, it's free. But that's
Which
like
I
less
do.
than $2. That's less than $2 a track.
And it's going to come out and also before we get going, these tracks are not going to come out all at once. They're going to come out in waves, so we won't have the complete set of tracks until 2023. But when they do release a wave, it's going to be 8 tracks, so 2 brand new cups essentially.
Yeah, you're getting them every couple months, but it's a lot of content. I think this is a better idea than making Mario Kart 9 because I haven't played as much recently Mario Kart 8, but that is a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need, if it's not broke, don't fix
They're
it.
going the Smash model.
They're making it a platform,
they are.
absolutely. And that is the smartest thing they can do because they are going to make so much more money selling $25 expansions and trying to sell a new game. 100%.
Yeah.
Because so many people already own the game. It's
the highest
brilliant.
I was writing a piece for this for GoNintendo.com because I honestly don't feel like we need a Mario Kart 9 at this moment. I mean, we might get one eventually, maybe when Nintendo makes a brand spanking new console, like that's the Switch 2 or whatever the new next evolution of
Not for at least a couple
console.
years.
Exactly, not for a couple years, but with this much content for that low of a price, because really all you need are just new tracks. The roster is a stacked roster already. But $25 on a game that's actually pretty cheap, that's the best-selling Switch game in the world as of right now, that's a no-brainer.
It's 5 years old.
Yeah, it's
I
not
can't
only
believe
that, the game originally came out on the Wii U in 2014.
That's so crazy.
And here's a fun fact. You want to know how many copies that game sold for on the Wii U?
750 million.
8 million units around. You want to know how many units sold on the Switch?
10 million.
43.35.
Holy shit, that's actually extremely
Well,
high.
it helps when it's a title that's sold with the console when you purchase.
That's
it, for
still
sure.
a lot.
That's how I bought my Switch.
That's
I bought my
still a
Switch
lot.
with Mario Party built in.
That's
Mhm.
amazing. That's
Very
a lot. Of
true.
What's
Very
next on
true.
the list?
Yeah, I'm
next-
all for this. I'm all for like have
Right.
more Mario Party in one place. That's great.
Brandon, if you have anything, just like shout it out. You excited for new tracks in Mario Kart?
Not particularly. It sounds cool. I'm sure I'll play them.
All right, probably. Next on the list is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was announced. This was the big showstopper that ended the direct. It will follow the adventures of Noah and Mio amid turmoil between the hostile nations of Kiev and Agnes. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will also looks like it will connect to the futures of both the original Xenoblade game and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it's slated for a September 2022 release.
So I know we haven't played these, Ben, but I know you thought this trailer was dope. Because you said, so how can I play 1 and 2? Because I also thought this trailer looked really dope, but I'm like, oh shit, I want to get into this franchise now. Because this looks really cool.
Good news is that you can find the first one, Xenoblade, the definitive edition at Target, and you can also find it cheap on Amazon. But for some ungodly reason, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which came out a lot earlier in the Switch's lifestyle, is really freaking hard to get. And it's also stupid expensive on the secondhand market.
I don't know why, Ben.
They'll McFrickin' do that to you.
I don't know why, Ben. I've known you for a very long time, but every single time you say McFrickin', I always do a double take because I'm like, did he just? No, he did. He does this.
It became one of my catchphrases now. Sparks, any words on Xenoblade or not so much?
Nope.
Okay. Well, here we go. Mario Strikers. This is after Fire Emblem. This was a big showstopper because a year ago, our friend of the show, Patrick Brickhouse from the Retro Blast podcast, he was on the E3 episode with myself and Inga saying that he wants more Mario Strikers. The Mario sports games outside of golf and tennis have been silent.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting a brand new one, and this looks gorgeous.
So the thing that is so exciting about this one is because like there hasn't been another soccer game since the GameCube one, right, Ben? Is that correct? Okay.
I want to say the Wii. I want to say there was one that came out on the Wii, but there was definitely one that came out on the GameCube.
Okay. No one talks about that one. But anyway, Strikers, what makes Strikers so cool is that like it is one of the only Mario like offshoots that has its own really unique, cool like style. Like there's hard lines. They're all dressed like aesthetically like they're punks and they're cool and they actually fight each other. It's like one of the most violent Mario games. So you can just go punch people in that game. And thank God they are keeping that aesthetic. Like you're just gonna beat people up in this game, and they're all dressed like battle warriors. Looks awesome.
Strikers is one of my favorites. This was my most hype from Nintendo Direct.
I love Mario sports. I don't give a shit about real sports. I love Mario sports.
I'm not gonna. I've never played the original Strikers game. Both and Mag is over here in the chat. He is confirming that there was another one on the Wii version Wii as well. So we have
the Wii version was the one I played. I really like it. Okay. I love Strikers. I'm happy that it's coming to Switch.
Hell yeah.
I am good. Like I said, the second they announced Strikers, I'm like, oh. First, I listened to this to hear the joys, the sound of joy all the way from our friend Patrick saying hallelujah because he's been wanting this for a good long while. Also, this is another big one. This has been rumored for a while. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition. It's a remaster of the original game that came out on the PlayStation. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch on April 7th, but it's also being bundled with a text adventure that never released, as far as I know, never released here in the United States.
That's really nice. I love extra stuff. I don't know if I'll play this one because it's long JRPGs.
Yeah,
can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I want to say Chrono Cross is a sequel to Chrono Trigger, but maybe not a direct sequel. But there's elements of Chrono Trigger that the events of Chrono Trigger affect the world of Chrono Cross. So many Chrono Trigger fans were stupid excited, and I'm happy for them. And I would like to play this, but I'm gonna hold off on this one for a while because I do have Chrono Trigger. I'm gonna play that first, and once I finally do, if I'm like, luckily it's coming out on the Switch, and it's like. Cool, I'll be able to snag it, and I'm looking for. And also, I'm just happy that people get to. There's like another. We get the game, yes, but also we get something added that we never experienced before.
Yeah, it's a little sweet treat.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Portal is coming to the Switch. Portal 1 and 2. The official title is Portal Companion Collection, which I think is rad because hey,
I'll buy those again.
Portal is one of the greatest games of all time, and Portal 2 is also one of the greatest games of all time. And like those are Portal 2 is such a good co-op game. Mm-hmm. Playing it like on a Switch, like with friends, like that'd be great. On online co-op and stuff too. Like that's a good Switch game.
I really like the online co-op for Portal 2. I thought that was really really cool.
Oh yeah, the game's great.
Oh yeah, and now you can play it on the go, which so many people, which is like one of the best things to have a Switch. And actually,
those are one of like the best feeling games too. Like just in general, like I love those games.
Yeah, I still remember when Portal, like the height of Portal popularity, people were around Brandy, you might remember, some people were just saying the cake is a lie. Like anytime someone mentioned cake,
it's true.
Let's see. Splatoon 3, they showed off a new mode called Salmon Mode, which is coming to the game when it releases later.
Wait. I can correct you. Ha! Salmon Run Mode.
Salmon Run Mode. Thank you. Yeah. So
Mode.
I'm not a big Splatoon guy. I never really got into it. I haven't played it, but it's the creatures look interesting. You gotta get these salmon eggs and you gotta throw them into a basket. It looks creepy, or not creepy, but it looks interesting. So cool. New mode for Splatoon fans.
Yeah, it does have a huge fan base. It's just we're not in it.
Yeah, but hey, they have it, and that's great. Next up, a new gameplay trailer for Kirby and the Forgotten Land sparked the memes all over the internet. Gentlemen, what do we think about this? Because I wanted to get this game hardcore, but first, now I want to get it even more. Oh, you got a Kirby hat.
I put it on my cat.
Oh,
I'm so excited for this game because I didn't realize they're just making Mario Odyssey with Kirby.
Yeah,
because that's what it looks like. Like him throwing, like it's basically just the hat, but like
that's true.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Not only that, I also love what they're doing with the power-ups. Because if you haven't played a traditional actually, this is the first true 3D Kirby game, if I remember correctly. Because even Kirby 64 was a 2.5 side scroller. Kirby's never been like a full 3D world like this. His games have always been side scrollers or puzzle or other type of games. So the fact that they're changing the power-ups as you play through the game, I think that's a brilliant idea. Like you rescue more people, you get better power-ups.
Yeah, it was fun to see. We talked about last week as one of our hype games that we're looking forward to. So yeah, cool to see more of Kirby.
Oh yeah, cannot wait.
Bring up Mag's comment real quick because that's also the thing I'm most excited about.
Love the idea of Kirby building a town for Waddle Doos.
Yeah, like you're building up this town for the people you rescue, and I'm like, a town builder in my post-apocalyptic Kirby game? What?
It's a co-op game.
Oh, really? Did I miss that?
One person plays as Kirby, the other person plays as a Waddle. Is it a Waddle Doo or Waddle Dee? No, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, either one person plays as Kirby, the other plays as a little Waddle person.
I love it.
Yeah, moving down the list, a new Disney kart game is coming out, Disney Speedstorm. It's a free-to-play game that's coming later this year. Not a whole lot, just like a few screenshots of tracks. Designs
Also not a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, not a Switch exclusive.
This is the first time we've seen anything for it.
Yeah, this is a free-to-play Mario Kart Disney clone. I'm okay.
I mean, we got Mario Kart DLC coming out, so I'm like, that one's getting all my time and attention. Disney, I love you. You have made some pretty good kart racers in the past, but not this time.
It's a free-to-play one where you buy the costumes and accessories for the characters you want. So I'm like, if you're into that, that's
I'm good. Ryan, this is for you. No Man's Sky. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch. You can play No Man's Sky portably. How cool is that?
Yeah, I'm going to play it on the literally worst-looking version I possibly can.
Yeah, right. That's kind of the bummer. It's like No Man's Sky is kind of a game built entirely around the aesthetic of enjoying what it looks like.
That's the huge problem because it is a massive game. So if you're not playing the cloud version, that game's gonna look like shit.
Yeah, I play Fortnite on my Switch, and it's really hard for me to do. Yeah, when I have the PS5.
And it's surprising that it's not the cloud version. It is a Switch version. So I'm just like, that game's got to be limited in some way because there's I played the PS5 upgraded version where that's the prettiest game you can see for thousands of miles.
I'm happy that No Man's Sky is there for accessibility purposes of people who are want it on the Switch and that's cool. It is not even close. If to the way I would prefer to play that
the
game.
Only way to play the game, then that do it. But otherwise, play it on an old gen. Play it on a PS4 if you have to instead.
I mean, I saw it. I thought if people don't have No Man's Sky, they maybe want to play casually or just or they just want to play it here and there and they don't really care about the visuals. I was like, cool, get the Switch version. But at the same time,
caring about the visuals, it's that's the whole point of the game.
Yeah,
it is a big part of going to different worlds to experience with the different how it looks and what it is. Yeah. And seeing the atmosphere and more particles and that stuff is important in in a sci-fi space game.
For No Man's Sky, I mean, cool. The game is on Switch; people can play it on the go. That's great. But at the same time, I feel with a game like No Man's Sky, especially with how far it's come since its launch, I want that thing on my PS5.
I don't see how that game runs on a Switch and it doesn't chug hard. That's the only thing. Yeah.
This is one of those where I'm definitely interested when the Steam Deck comes forward. If
there you go.
If that beats the Switch version of the No Man's Sky,
that's like
really
5 switches.
If you want it on the go, you get it on the Steam
That's like
Deck.
5 switches. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So after that, one of my dreams came true. Oh, not one of my dreams, but one of my hopes, my my direct hopes came true. We actually have a release date. Come on, alcohol, calm the F down. We have a release date for Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. It is officially coming to Nintendo Switch April 8th. That's pretty much all I was really hoping for this direct.
That's so soon.
Like when the direct came out, it's like, hey, we're having a Nintendo Direct in February. I'm like, I just would like a release date for Advance Wars. Everything else is just serendipity. And Lordy, I got a lot more than I asked for.
The reason I like this direct so much is because like they said before they announced it as like, hey, this is going to be for all the stuff coming in the first part of the year. It's not any of our big time players. So it is a lot of like these smaller stuff. And then like, hey, here's a Mario Strikers for fun. So like, I'm happy that we're getting like, Advance Wars and like all these other like smaller things. Like they're finally getting announces. And I'm like, cool. Like not every direct has to be, oh my God, it's Zelda. You know, like I enjoy these smaller ones. Like I'm going to play Advance Wars.
Oh no, yeah. Advance Wars. I've been hyping for Advance Wars ever since they announced it. But at the same time, going on your comment, Ryan, I'm with you because a lot of people on my Twitter, when the announcement came that hey, we're having a direct in like X amount of days, people are like, oh, there better be Zelda news. There better be news about this. I'm like, guys, calm down. This is all the big stuff is saved for June or for October.
E3 is right around the corner.
Yeah, they save the big stuff for E3 and they save the big more big stuff for October for the holidays. That's what that's for. This is like, here's the beginning of the year. We got some stuff coming in the pipeline. Here's some updates. Here you go. The big stuff, you gotta wait, and I'm fine with that. I'm totally 100% fine with that.
Sparks, after all that said, what made you disappointed in this?
It's not that I was disappointed. That's not what I said. I said I'm just not as hype as Ben.
Yeah.
Look, 80% of these games are like, I like, yes, it's cool to hear the release dates, but I already saw the stuff for them, and I'm like, I know I want them, or I don't. Like Advance Wars, like, yes, I want it, but like, I didn't get like hype as hell about Advance Wars 1 and 2's trailer. It's cool to know the release date, but I just wasn't hype. Right. Yeah. But then like there's a decent chunk of these that like I'm being realistic. Like I know I'm never gonna play the Xenoblade Chronicles. I know me and I'm never gonna do it. So like there's nothing, it's not that it looks bad. I just know myself and I'm not gonna play that game. And so there's nothing for me to get like super stoked about. I'm hot on Strikers. That's big. I know I want to play that Kirby game. This trailer was cool, but like I already knew that. And
we still got more to talk about.
And I'm happy to get the Mario Kart thing. Like that's me. Like I'm not disappointed. I'm just like not crazy hype.
Not as hot. Yeah.
Then not as hot because I was expecting it's like okay, cool, direct, and then all the stuff that came out, I was like, holy shit!
And like, like the things like Portal, like that's cool, but I'm probably not going to play that on my Switch because I still have it on my PlayStation and Xbox. That I'm, like No Man's Sky. That's not where I would prefer to play it. So it's just kind of things like that where I'm like, yeah, it's cool that it's on Switch, but I'm not going to do it there.
I mean, like there was another trailer for it's not on here, but they have the Kingdom Hearts cloud version. And I'm sitting there like I'm never gonna play Kingdom Hearts on my Switch because I have it on my PlayStation because I don't need to.
Exactly. Good example. Like like great that it's on Switch. I'm never gonna touch it there.
Exactly. Wait, Kingdom Hearts is getting a cloud version, but No Man's Sky isn't.
Right. See, that's weird.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I feel like that's also
Kingdom
Square's
Hearts 3
going.
You have to, but like all of them are cloud.
Yeah, I feel like
I just mean it's like the size of those games. I'm like, I don't understand that part.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We got a few more left to go. This opened up the show, or the direct, I'd say. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. It was an announcement trailer. This is based off, of course, Fire Emblem Warriors, which is the Dynasty Warriors clone, but with all Fire Emblem characters. And just like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity before it, it takes place only in a certain universe of the game, that game being the highly popular Fire Emblem Three Houses, which there's new. There might be new story in. It's weird. I'm glad there's new story and there's like more stuff for Fire Emblem Warriors fans. I've never been a Dynasty Warriors fan, and I have played Age of Calamity. I'm just not into that. To be perfectly honest,
I'm not into Musos either. Like I dropped off the Dynasty Warrior train a long time ago.
I honest to God think those games are only fun to play with another person,
or just like extremely drunk. Again, like they have a huge fan base, and that's great. Like it's just it is a shame that like there probably will be story stuff because there is story stuff, albeit it's not super big. There is story stuff in those Zelda.
There was, yeah.
So like
in
there probably will be story stuff.
in Age of Calamity, there was some really good story stuff. But as I was playing through it, I was like, it made me want to play Breath of the Wild more.
Yeah.
And if I play this, it's going to make me finish my other 2 runs of Fire Emblem Three Houses more.
Right.
Whereas, I mean, this probably, if it's going to follow the formula as the other games, it's going to have a co-op mode. But co-op mode, when I was playing Age of Calamity, it was very laggy. Like the frame rate was just, especially with
the Switch can't handle it, man.
The Switch can't do it. I think like that's the thing is like when I played the Dynasty Warriors games in the past, and it's been a while. I liked only really like playing them doing couch play. Maybe online play would work too, but like it's all about, to me, like being able to, what's engaging is like, oh, I'm clearing over here and I'm clearing over here. If I'm just going through it, I feel like it gets repetitive and dull very quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I was having fun playing with Fanny, but once we got to a certain point, I dropped it and I never touched it again. And I'm like, I don't want to play.
Maybe this one doesn't have to be for you.
I also think that all of them are due for incorporating the modern Lego technology of how they do co-op.
Split screen?
With the split screen, where like it's the based around where you are on the screen and it rotates.
Yeah.
I think those games desperately need that.
That's a good idea. I mean, hey, if you're excited for Fire Emblem Warriors, I am happy for you. I'm glad it's coming out. I love Three Houses, but it just might not be for me. But you know what? If I do somehow play it, I might change my mind. But moving on to something that, once again, never came out to the United States. Live Alive is finally coming to the West in July. This is a RPG that takes place throughout time, and you play during certain eras of history, going all the way to the caveman to the far future. And in the middle, you have like the Old West, you have Edo Japan, you have like the present day. This game it looks so cool. And I want to say I've never heard about it before.
Well, because it never came out in America, so we weren't allowed to know about it because like it didn't come out here. Like I'm pretty sure this is the guy who made Chrono Cross, and this is a kind of similar game to Chrono Cross, where it's like a time traveling epic, but like it is so much more time traveling epic, and like it looks like a super unique game where it does a lot of proprietary weird stuff in it, like an Undertale or like a Earthbound or like a Mother.
Yeah.
It looks super unique and super fun, and like I definitely want to play it. And like the fact that it never came out here and it's like so beloved. You can apparently, because I was listening to a podcast about it. You can find like a third of it online in like a ROM hack, but the game was never there was not a complete version in America. So like you can play it a third of it online in Japanese if you want.
This is one of the ones that looked interesting to me. I'm just not entirely convinced I'll ever actually get to it.
Yeah. If it comes out somewhat soon, I probably can't play it because I'm too busy with like bigger games.
Yeah. Ryan, you mentioned Earthbound. This direct also announced Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, which essentially it's Mother and Mother 2 are coming to the Nintendo Switch Online, SCS and NES respectively. And Mag is in the chat that says Mother 3, I'm okay waiting. Because
everyone was like, everyone 100% thought that there was going to be a Mother 3 announcement immediately after. Right. And like a lot of people are disappointed. I'm like, I get why you'd think that, but I'm like, not yet. Sorry.
Not yet. But moving on, Front Mission is coming to the Nintendo Switch, a tactical RPG that was famous on the PlayStation 1. It's getting a remaster, not just the first game, but both games are coming to the Switch. The first and the second one, I should say. They are announced, and it's got giant mechs, and it's a tactical RPG. Pretty much you're speaking my language here.
It's literally like, so I talked about, I was going to say a couple months ago, but it's the pandemic, so it's probably more like a year and a half ago. I was playing BattleTech, which is a mech RPG, and it is exactly Front Mission, just 20 years in the future. It is a board game based tactical. You move your mech and you choose like where you attack. You can blow someone's arm off and you can use their missile launcher afterwards, like that kind of stuff. I am so excited to play this like new version of it, because like this is literally like just like you bet, like this is like my shit.
Yeah, like this year is becoming like the year of tactical RPGs for the Nintendo Switch. Triangle Strategy, I have the demo downloaded. I played a mission of it. We got Metal Slug Tactics coming out this year. We have Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Not when Metal Slug Tactics come out.
Let
me tell you.
You can have Metal Slug
Not
Tactics.
when that one comes out.
Yo, when Metal Slug Tactics, when Metal Slug Tactics come, I'm probably gonna be like, the second I find out when, if either myself or Sparks finds out when that game comes out, we're gonna message you. It's like, this is the date. This is when it comes out. But
there was something for Triangle Strategy here, right? Briefly,
I think
yes, it was. It's coming out in March, and it was the announcement of the demo that can save your game up to 3 chapters, And so once you do get the game, you can transfer your save data over, so you don't have to
That's a
restart.
lot of hours too
It
of the
does-
game. That's a
it
lot
does-
of hours apparently.
Again, like I'm loosely unconvinced I'll ever play it, but I also really do like the look of triangle
Yeah.
strategy.
I played the first mission, and I am in love with that art style.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, the art style's what's making me want to actually
Hyper, what's it called? Like 3D, 2D,
it's
HD,
like
2D?
ultra. It's like ultra
HD
HD 2D. It's
Yeah.
it's pixel sprite. It's like a mix of 16-bit SNES Genesis pixel sprites with a high-res version of a Sega Saturn or a Sega Dreamcast background.
Looks real good.
I was
love
talking,
It looks
I was talking
gorgeous.
with a friend about the art of triangle strategy, and it's that they're using consistent 3-tier painting, so that when they're painting the colors of something, it's always consistent of like it's different shades, so that makes it so that the pixels are easier to separate, but it gives them like their 3D look even though they're staying 2-dimensional. And I'm like, that's incredibly smart because it makes the shading very consistent.
And I love, like, I'm so excited for the game because, like, implementing different, like, elements into each other. Like, oh, you make this thing burn on fire to kill all your enemies, or, like, using water and electricity. And, like, that's, again, like, strategy shit. I love that shit so much. Like, taking your time. And
There is, when I was playing the first combat stage, there was, when I moved my cursor, I was on a dock and I moved it out to the ocean accidentally. And there was a thing up in the corner of my HUD that said it was freezable and the water was calm. So I'm like, wait, can I like cast Blizzard on it and freeze it and get more ground to move? That would be
awesome.
rad.
That's awesome. I'm so
It
excited.
is. I mean, it's the first battle, so it just gets you with the basics. But either way, I'm excited. This is another tactical RPG that I'm going to sink probably so many more hours in, and I just got my PS5. This is my wallet's crying and wants to murder me. But last but not least, and this is actually something that caught me off guard, but I'm also super excited for, Klonoa Fantasy Revere series got a gameplay trailer and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. For those of you who may not know, Klonoa is a puzzle platformer game from Bandai Namco, and it is amazing. I played Klonoa 2 on PS2 years ago. I loved it, never rented it or beaten it, and I'm mad because I couldn't find it, and it's stupid expensive now.
Right.
I've never played this, but I now recognize it as like, oh, I've seen this game before.
Yeah. So it's coming to the Switch, and Klonoa 2, which is the game I played on my PS2 originally, is in this collection. So I'm like, I could finally beat this game that I just played it once for like 5 hours straight, and I was like, this game is awesome. And then I took it back to Blockbuster and never touched it again.
I've definitely seen the design, and I've never been invested in the game, and maybe this will be a time. No idea. We'll see.
So another platform, a mascot platformer, yeah.
Yep.
So that's everything there, Ben?
That's everything.
All right. Well, why don't you take us out of this pause menu segment real quick?
Fun pause.
Look, you said it.
Hey, hey.
We had fun here. You're welcome. I'm back. Hi guys. Sparks and I were doing the Peacemaker dance for a second.
We were. It was cute.
I noticed.
All right. Real quickly, I do want to talk about. We didn't talk about the Oscars, but I just wanted to say I'm really glad that Andrew Garfield and the Mitchells vs. Machines were both nominated for the things I thought they should be nominated, and that's really all I cared about. So cool.
Yeah.
For reasons I know also that Mitchells vs. the Machines is nominated for Best Editing in an Animated Feature Film this year for the Eddie Awards. So from the American Cinema Editors, good for them.
Hell yeah, Eddie.
Yeah. I really hope they clinch it. They're up against 3 Disney movies and a very powerful docu animated movie. It's weird.
I think it's weird that Raya is up there.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
That movie's
Luca
good.
and Encanto and Mitchells vs. the Machines, I get all.
Oh
Raya,
man,
like,
what a good
come on, man.
what a good list of movies though.
Yeah.
If it's not Mitchells vs. the Machines, I want it to be Luca.
Those are two.
But I want it to be Mitchells.
Those are 2 good movies.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gotta be Mitchell's though.
Yeah, Mitchell's is the one I'm rooting for.
Mitchells is the one I want to win it. Luca is, in my opinion, the clear like secondary. That movie's gorgeous.
The only reason I could see them not giving it to Mitchell's because like they just won one for Spider-Man, which is not a good excuse.
No,
it's not a good excuse.
Disney wins every year.
No, I
most
know,
of the time.
I know, but I'm just like some oh no, Sony. I don't know. Like I could see them doing some bullshit, but it's
Yeah, Pixar has won every year except for a few times where Cars lost to Happy Feet. Someone lost to Spider-Verse, and then one more. I forgot the other one. I really hope it's Mitchell's.
Mag is in the chat. He goes, Mitchell's, I agree, but no in the Oscars.
Maybe they'll do us right this year.
Nah, maybe.
All right.
One can hope.
Okay, let's get into our trailers then.
Trailer Park.
What year of the Oscars is this, Brandon? Sorry,
69.
2022.
No, I know, like the 87th. What
94th.
94th.
I think so.
You know, fool me 93 times. Shame on me.
Legitimately, Sparks, I thought you were testing if I knew the year, and for a second, I didn't.
You got there.
You think I'm too mean to you?
All right. The Wolf Among Us 2.
Ben?
Yeah?
You hear that music?
Yeah, I heard that music.
Yeah.
I heard that music, boy. That's the Proto Man. The Proto Man was in that trailer. Holy shit.
He was like, yo, we got to listen to the song because it's dope. And then he showed me the track. That's a good song. That's a real good song.
That song is about Dr. Light fighting Wily, who became a fascist leader?
He told me. Yeah.
That is off an album based off the creator of Mega Man?
Yeah, Brandon, Light of the Night by the Proto Men, which I also believe you are familiar with, is in the Wolf Among Us 2 trailer.
I am familiar with the song.
I think so.
I guess not.
But it's probably been a while since you heard it, but I'm pretty sure Michael shared it to you at the same time he shared it to me.
I am very excited for this because I like that first game a whole lot. And I really, really love the Telltale model of games. Like when they are done perfectly, that is my perfect video game. It is a perfect merger of like storytelling and gaming.
Sure.
So like, if this can like be good, like I'm so excited. It looks, excuse me, those Telltale games, like after a while they started to chug and started to not look good because they didn't change their engine for 10 years. And like this is a new studio, a new engine and stuff. So like it looks really good.
It's unfortunate to be coming out after the Fables controversy, but like
but like it's not tied.
No,
to,
it's not.
Which makes me feel better about it because it's not Bill Willingham like doing it himself or anything.
Right.
I'm really excited for this to come back, though, for real.
You guys know I was before I knew about the controversy, I was a huge fan of the Fables books. I have the entire graphic novel collection. I absolutely love those books, even though that Bill Willingham is a bit of a jerk.
Hey, there can still be good stuff in those books. Yeah.
There's good stuff in those books.
Yeah.
But
I was definitely getting nervous that this was going to get canned at one point there.
Because we stopped hearing about it.
We stopped hearing about it,
We
and
did.
I thought maybe that it's over. Maybe it's shelved. Maybe
even
this is
after all the stuff with Telltale, but I feel like because The Wolf Among Us, the first one, was the only the only Telltale game I played. Because to me, that just the setting, the characters, the way the story is, that is a perfect scenario for this type of game. Not to say that The Walking Dead isn't a good one, or the Guardians.
The Walking Dead is like the perfect example of choice and stuff mattering in a post-apocalypse.
The Walking Dead one probably is the best Walking Dead anything.
It is the best piece of Walking Dead material, I think. Absolutely.
There you go.
That first game's a triumph.
There you go. But
The only one I played was the Jurassic Park one.
There was a Jurassic
That's not
Park one?
bad.
It's
from the earlier days.
It's fine.
It's pretty much like in the early days there was like Back to the Future and that.
Yeah.
They
were getting to where they were
getting
now.
it. They're all right. I will always appreciate the Jurassic Park Telltale game for picking up the story of the shaving cream can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that's what the story's about. But yeah, it's not bad. It's just not on the level that Telltale got to later.
Yeah.
No, but I liked it when I played it, but that was like ages ago.
I did too. I'm not knocking it. I think it's an enjoyable one. I definitely think like Telltale perfected the model they were building well at the time.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Atomic Heart.
I'm surprised you put this on here, and I'm glad you did.
This looks like nightmares.
Because this game looks insane. This it's like Russian BioShock to be reductive, but like it is a like cool open world like dystopian weird cyberpunk robot monster game. You have
dystopian in the sense that like it looks like you're in utopia and then utopia turns on you.
Yeah, like robots are like your servants, stuff like that, but things go really bad. There's like BioShock powers where like, you know, you have like thunder and like you can like freeze stuff in midair, and like the game looks gorgeous. And there's these enemies that are giant balls, like the enemy from Incredibles, the giant ball from Incredibles on the droid, like this thing that can roll around really fast and then spring out its legs. And I'm like, that's horrifying. It's awesome. The enemies have faces that like come apart like in Ghost.
The like many teeth on the faces flapping around.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then there's also zombies in the game with like weird parasite.
Plant like being things. Yeah.
Like there's so much cool shit. Like this is like a really cool like Chernobyl like radioactive monster cyberpunk Russian
and
game.
it looks like the intensity of the amount of enemies that can get onto you is like Doom level.
Yeah. And you have like a gravity a hand. You can like pick things up and slam them down with telekinetic power.
People.
Yeah, it looks like
You got a power glove.
You got a power glove. It's so bad. It just looks really
Now
cool.
we're playing with power.
Wizard. Yeah, I just think it looks really cool, and I hope it lives up to like the hype that it's warranted. Like that's getting. It's getting a lot of serious hype because this trailer looks really cool.
Yeah.
It does. And I would probably echo a lot of what Ryan said because honestly, when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks like BioShock, but not, and scarier because I really hate it when the robot's face goes back and you see the exoskeleton. I'm like, someone give me a shotgun because I'm getting Five Nights at Freddy's nightmares.
I was about to say the same, like Ben's getting his Nights at Freddy's flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Freddy!
That stupid fox.
I put this one on here for you, Ryan. Vikings Valhalla.
Thank you. Yeah, this looks like good. This looks really good. I need to finish Vikings because it's got a lot of seasons, but like following Leif Erikson. Happy Leif Erikson Day, everybody. I'm really excited. I just love Vikings. I love historical action, historical fiction. I'm all about it.
It looks cool. I'd like to watch it someday.
Yeah, and like I think it's like if you do want to jump into it, like it is tied to Vikings, but it is a different like time period, like not significant, but like
Book of Boba Fett.
Like Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, except I don't think 2 of the episodes will be focusing on the character from Vikings. Spoilers.
You don't think?
I don't think. I could be wrong. Maybe a precedent will be set.
It's not really. It's not. I mean, it has to do with Vikings, but it doesn't have to do with Vikings. I've been hearing the song Valhalla Calling from Assassin's Creed Valhalla a lot around the internet recently. That song is rad. It makes me want to watch Viking shit. And now it's like, cool, I have Viking shit to watch now.
I didn't even watch it, but there was a trailer for the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC, which is about Valhalla coming.
Oh, yeah. I saw that around. Yeah.
Odin's there.
When is it?
Am I right?
Men.
Am I right?
What's up?
The movie.
I'm not sure what this is about, but
So I
it looks cool as shit.
I got Garden of Eve vibes when we saw the tree.
Sure.
And the guy standing next to it. And then they did the coming soon at the end, and you clearly like hear some hissing and you see snake scales. So I'm like, okay, this is probably some like slightly
biblical
Adam and Eve paradigm kind of story. Real uncomfortable imagery about like people just off in the distance. Like that always like unnerves me.
Oh yeah, like doing an echo scream and then a scarier scream back.
I love any trailer that I really love well-made trailers when like they make the trailer itself a piece of art, and when you take a sound bite like her in the tunnel and turn that into something that creates a sense of growing intention and intensity throughout the trailer. I thought that was really effective. I love creative trailers. This looks really intriguing. I don't know what's happening, but I want to watch it.
Well, I'm curious why it's called Men. Alex Garland is awesome. I know you guys haven't watched the TV series he did last year called Devs.
But
it's incredible.
I think at least Brandon's seen Ex Machina.
You've seen Ex Machina at least, so there you go. So you're familiar.
Ben, have you seen Ex Machina? Oh boy,
Ooh, we gotta get to.
We gotta get you into a party, man.
Oscar Isaac dancing, baby.
I really like Ex Machina.
I just know the second I saw the A24 logo, and
Ben.
Yeah.
Ex Machina is the thing that made me realize my greatest fear is actually AI.
It's a spooky one.
I didn't know that's actually what my greatest fear was till I saw that movie, and I'm like, oh, I'm afraid of AI.
Oh, the future is now.
We should stop.
Yes.
I hear Terminator music in the background.
Alice.
The
first of our Kiki Palmer duology.
Yeah.
This is based off a real story, so just to be clear, there is no supernatural event or anything that happens. This was a section where they were able to be secluded and kind of run things their own way.
Like in the deep
South. Kept running
yeah.
things the way they ran in the 1800s, and she escapes.
Yeah.
So,
and learns
like
what the world is
Annabelle?
like on the outside. Huh?
Well, right. So Annabellum is why Sparks said there's no supernatural anything happening, because that was
Annabellum had like a supernatural thing. I'm saying like what he did is that he basically isolated and kept things running as if it was still the 1800s, and isolated all these people out from the world, so they didn't know
like the Amish
what the modern world was like anymore.
They didn't know that they were free under the law.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of like Annabelle, but instead
Yeah.
of people kidnapping him to take him to this plantation,
Yes,
except
they-
this really
this
happened.
happened. This really
Yeah.
happened.
Oh, shit.
Right.
When
This
it
is a
says
true
inspired by
story.
true events, this really happened.
Yeah.
In our country, this really
And
occurred.
then she goes and she gets revenge. She meets a nice man who helps her out. She gets a kick-ass new haircut and new wardrobe. She's like, I'm gonna get some revenge on some other effers.
Yeah.
I do think this trailer is awesome. I do think they showed us a little too much.
Yes.
Because it's not like because I didn't need to know that she wins in the end. That she puts like they show us like what she does to the dude. I'm like, I wish I would have like seen this in the movie, but it's still enough to be revealed, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
do think
thought this
there's
was
an
really...
amount of that. Sorry, real quick. I do think there's an amount of that just being a backlash to like bad reception for Annabelle, that they want you to know like everything you want to be satisfied by this, you're going to.
This
see
isn't like torture
of
movie.
like of like you're going to see her get that.
Yes.
And I
That's
think they're
fair.
wanting to like tell you like you can see this and you're going to be satisfied.
That's fair.
And I think you kind of unfortunately just have to get the audience to know that for them to have the confidence that they're not going to that this isn't going to be bad blaxploitation like what we were talking about with that Amazon show where it's like black violence for the sake of black violence.
Yeah.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks. I really like how this is filmed. I think this looks like a really pretty movie. I'm glad that a movie like this is being made because I didn't know about this event, and now I do.
Right,
So-
it's another like Tulsa situation.
Yeah, Watchmen.
With, Watchmen, where like it is important that everybody knows, and like it's unfortunate that it's very easy to kind of brush off the like, oh yeah, true events, like that people will have to know like that this is a real story, and I hope that it does deliver on that kind of weight by it. I'm really excited for Johnny Lee Miller that he's playing the bad guy. I
God,
think
he
that's
looks
great.
so spooky.
He looks real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Is he also? Sorry, I apologize for interrupting, but is he also playing Joe Exotic in the Peacock original Joe versus Carol?
I don't know.
Ooh,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
Okay,
That's not
Because
him.
that
That's
name-
somebody
He would have been a really
He would've-
good one.
If
Actually,
you
bad,
were
yeah.
playing him, I think I'd want to watch that show because I really like Johnny
Watch
Lee
it be
Miller.
him
I'm pretty
now.
sure it's not
Because
him.
I know Kate McKinnon is playing Carol Baskin because they were showing clips of it throughout the Super Bowl today.
No, it's John Cameron Mitchell.
That's
okay.
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 Either way, he looks good as Joe Exotic.
He is funny. He's not enough to make me want to like go watch that show. Whereas like Johnny Lee Miller, that would be weird. I really wonder how he.
It's
would
like that's
do
unexpected
Joe Exotic. Yeah,
because
that
he's
would,
not like a
that would
comedian.
pull me in because that's an unusual stance for him to do.
I was more interested in the Nicolas Cage Joe Exotic project that they canceled.
Oh yeah,
So
I mean,
was
who
I.
wasn't? Who
Yeah.
wasn't? Who isn't interested in anything Nick Cage does? Honestly,
True.
on some level. So
Truly.
like, yeah, I'm really glad that they are making this movie. I hope that it lands. I hope that I do hope that there's a lot to value in it. I does seem like they're trying to make it very clear that this is going to be like a satisfying story. That this isn't going to again like feature that kind of black violence utilized poorly, but trying to actually tell something important. And I hope that lands because that's a lot of the problems that were there with them and Antebellum.
Yeah. Firestarter.
Firestarter, twisted Firestarter.
I didn't want this remake when I'd heard about it because I thought the original Firestarter was perfectly good.
But now,
But I am really pleased to see that this in no way looks like just a remake of the original, but something wholly like new as far as the imagination of how it is being presented. And I'm all for it.
I love the premise. It's like a secret X-Men story. It's about like the parents dealing with the child coming to terms with their mutation. But like, like the kid looks so good, and like the fire looks really good, and like I love Zac Efron so much.
In the context of the Stephen King things, this is supposed to be another kid with the shine.
The Shine, yeah.
It's just it's being adapted and brought out of her in a different way than it's been with like the other characters we've seen
Danny
in film. Yeah, same thing with Carrie. Carrie's also supposed to have the shine, and it kind of comes through differently. So this is
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes, this is for this girl, her version of what's happening, and Carrie being a good comparison when the Carrie remake came out. As much as I love Julianne Moore and I love Chloe Grace Moretz, and I went and saw that movie and I was happy to see it, and I'm glad that it had a female director and everything. Like it still kind of just was doing the movie again and having read
it ain't nothing original.
Having read the book, I'm like, there's a lot more you could have done that the original movie didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like this is actually taking a lot of strides to not just do the original movie again, and I'm very thankful for it.
And like in like they make it feel like it's like a superhero movie. They even say like she could be the first superhero.
Yeah.
So they're definitely posing it as not The Shining.
But she
which
kind of is moving. She's kind of moving into a supervillain role with all that anger because. But you mentioned the fire way back, and I've been trying to say that the reason why the fire to me it looks very good is because it's mostly practical.
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And that's
I-
really cool.
Some of it, like on the arms, you can tell, but I'm like, man, is that little girl really on fire? Holy shit!
There's just, you know, when the original was made, they had no way to do like a lot of the effects of like the low level heat intensity rising, like things are in an oven around you.
They're so good in
that
this
is being
trailer.
done in like the heat waves, like
Yeah.
just the visualization in a lot of the sequences. It's just not
Like the
things
door
that they did in
bubbling.
the original at all. So I am grateful that like this feels like a complete new reimagining of what this
Like
what the story was.
You can see like the heat waves like attack people.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
attack that one
it's
guy.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
And,
It looks
like-
really good, and I like this cast.
Like this, like, you know, producer of Invisible Man can mean a lot of things, but like Blumhouse, like this feels like this is the right move for them to make like Firestarter like in this way, like the Invisible Man new approach. Like
for sure.
I think this looks really good. Like surprisingly, I'm super into this.
Yeah.
Again, I'll watch anything with Mr. Efron.
And this is a Stephen King one, right?
Yeah.
This is a Stephen King book. Yeah, so this is a new adaptation, and I haven't read this one, so I can't say if it's like bringing more pieces in from the book.
Well, Ben has.
Ben, could you tell me, is this bringing more pieces?
I
in from
feel
the
like
book
it's
than the
been
original
way
film?
too long for that joke. It's been too long since that joke made an appearance on the show.
It has. It's due for a resurgence.
Ben Magnus, Stephen King's best friend. Can you tell me, does this look like it's bringing in more elements that are original to the book than the original film did?
Firestarter, Twisted Firestarter.
Yeah, why don't you find out?
All right. Thanks, Ben.
He doesn't want to spoil it for you.
We
Maybe
need to
spoil
make a logo and music cue for this. What's next?
I'm doing this. The Atom Project.
Oh yeah. Definitely looks like it has money behind it.
Wait, hold on. They didn't say Firestarter fast enough. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's all you get.
it's good prodigy.
What is this? The Atom
The
Project?
Atom Project. I really like what I'm being shown, but I haven't had enough to full blown like hype me yet.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I-
The thing that's most got me right now is the concept of the young boy version and the adult version re-encountering the dad.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So I know there's a good heart at this movie. I'm sure that's like the focus and what this movie is going to do a lot of storytelling with.
Yeah.
And then just be in all these time travel sci-fi trappings and like,
Well,
cool. I'm in for that.
So for me, this is actually one of my most anticipated, and not like top 5, but like it's up there. Like the idea that like, for me, this is Sean Levy, right? He's done Date Night, Real Steel, Free Guy just last year. I love all these movies, so I'm very much looking forward to. It's got his name on. He's directing. I'm very much looking forward to another Sean Levy film. And I did really like what we're seeing. I agree with Sparks seeing that heart, but like his name directing this is the one that's got me like, yes, I want to see another Sean Levy movie.
Sure, and
Yeah.
I am happy because it is Sean Levy behind the wheel. I'm just saying like what's been shown to me so far hasn't got me to like full blown hype. I'm
Yeah.
definitely interested. I do want to see it. There's an element I'm not seeing yet in this trailer, which is fine because it's the first trailer.
Yeah.
That's not quite hooking me yet.
Yeah, like I'm liking all the elements that are presented, but like it's not giving me enough. And like the trailer, it's trying really hard to sell you on like this is a big epic movie because the music is going so hard, like really hard,
Look,
really hard.
more than anything, I'm just really happy that the couple from 13 Going on 30 made it and had a kid.
It's a slide sequel to 13 Going on 30, so I'll always accept it for that. Yeah, like it looks cool. I just like I need to know this isn't just like another Netflix.
Yes, no.
It's just another. They got a bunch of famous people to be in this Netflix movie, which it looks like more than that. But I need to see it.
I think what Sparks is hitting on is something that Sean Levy has proven very, very good. Is like the heart of the film is there, and we see it in this trailer. And so like if that's there, then it will be something. It's probably not as big or grand or epic as the trailers are trying to make you think it is. It's probably much more like character focused. Kind of in the same way that Free Guy was, even though the Free Guy was very much kind of this big epic, but there's still like character focused.
Absolutely, like Free Guy was a smaller movie than the trailers even let on, but like there's specifically a shot where just like the music's going so hard and he's doing a thing with his double lightsaber. I'm like, they're really trying to sell you on this movie really hard.
Mm-hmm.
As like big action trailers do. So like again, like I do, the heart is there. I will need to see the second trailer to see like, but is everything else there for me? Because so far I don't know. Not sure.
Sure.
Ben,
Jurassic.
Bob?
None at all.
No, I'm just gonna echo what pretty much what you guys said. I mean,
Okay, I just
I'm
wanted to
looking.
know because
No, I'm looking forward to the Atom Project. It looks good. I like the scene where it's like, wait, you're me. It's like I was you. It's like for some reason, like I like that part.
It looks like a calmer turn for Ryan
I
Reynolds
will say
too.
the thing that it did convince me of this trailer is that Ryan Reynolds and that kid already have very good chemistry.
Yeah.
They very clearly play off each other well, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
All right, Jurassic World Dominion, the third Jurassic Park.
Ryan ain't happy. I'll let you know that right now.
I can tell. I'd like to know why.
I'll go first. We can get to Ryan. Drew, I like the concepts on display as far as like, you know, we got dinosaurs in the real world. This was the promise of Fallen Kingdom, and so like now we're doing it, and I'm like, get the visualization of that, the fact that we're not just back on the island, a lot of the dinosaurs that we're seeing, I'm like, I'm all for these things. I think that's cool. I don't know what the story is, so it's hard for me to get into it because I don't know what's actually happening. They showed me a lot of flashy things, and not every flashy thing works for me because like showing me Chris Pratt in these movies anymore does nothing for me. I've seen 2 movies of him and I still don't give a shit about that character. Bryce Dallas Howard a little bit more, but mostly because I like Bryce Dallas Howard more, not because that character has left a big impact on me. I'm excited to see new dinosaur designs. That's always cool. Especially these ones that are trying to incorporate a lot of like the like now more scientific understanding of what we believe dinosaurs look like. I'm all for it. There's some really cool action pieces, and it's undeniably nice to see the trio from the original Jurassic Park back together.
Same clothes and everything.
That part maybe threw me off a little bit. I'm a little irked that they're all just kind of in their exact same costumes again somehow.
You don't change your
that
clothing
trailer.
30 years after, you know.
Well, I guess that's a fair point. But
no, that's a joke.
But really, end of the day, like what it comes down to is that I'm definitely intrigued because I'm intrigued by the concept, but I don't know what the story is right now, and so it's not 100%. I'm going to see it. So like it's dinosaurs, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Really, we're all going to see it anyway, right?
Well, so you're not into this.
I just don't think it looks like this is like there's no color. Famous character from the franchise. It's me, famous character from the franchise. Let's go do this thing on a green screen real quick. Cool. That's how you introduce your characters, by saying their names. I don't care about the main characters of this franchise. There are some cool shots in this movie, but every Jurassic Park movie has cool shots because dinosaurs are inherently cool. I was talking to Sparks about this. It really bums me out that Jurassic Park is the only franchise that has dinosaurs. We don't get any other dinosaur movies. So we are forced to accept these movies for what they are instead of asking for better movies. Because we get 1,000 dragon movies, 1,000 vampire movies, but we only get these movies because Jurassic Park somehow has a stranglehold on the dinosaur franchise. So I'm happy for everyone who gets to see more dinosaurs. The story here, cool. They've made another bigger T-Rex. Cool. Are you guys happy about a bigger T-Rex?
Well, it's not a hybrid this time because they said they're not doing the hybrids again.
Oh, that makes me feel better about it then. That's me. No, like a lot of people are super excited. Like I know this franchise left me 2 movies ago, which is fine.
I really like this.
I'm
very honestly, I'm very excited. It's one of my most anticipated at this point. I really liked what I was seeing. I personally get a sense of what they're doing with the story, and that's all I really need from a teaser, which is that someone is making these new dinosaurs for some reason. And then what that is will probably be revealed a little easier in the next trailer, and then we'll see it fully in the movie. I get that. But when Alan and Ellie saw each other, I shed some tears. I was so excited to see those two back together again. And I'm looking forward to this one. I really like what I'm seeing. And Blue specifically having like a kid, like Blue's the best character in the franchise, which is strange. That's a raptor. Because she was the best part of Fallen Kingdom, I feel. I kind of look at like either it's bad like Fallen Kingdom, in which case I have a good time because it's bad, or it's good like the first Jurassic World, which I do genuinely like. So like it's a win-win for me. I'll enjoy it either way.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'm on Brandon's camp with this one because I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks great. This looks fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's dinosaurs out in the real world. What's the consequences of that? What, like seeing a T-Rex at a drive-in theater? Shit's gonna hit the fan. And yeah, just like Brandon, I cracked a smile. I mean, I'm didn't cry, but I cracked a smile seeing Sam Neill and Laura Dern on screen together again. I was like, they're there.
There's something nice about that, but
yes,
like Goldblum already showed up once, so like I know he'll show up for any paycheck. So like
I don't want to yuck the yum.
No, I never want to. It's just how I feel.
I just know that like for me right now, I'm going because I want to see dinosaurs, and I'm going because I want to see that trio, and like that's nice, but like I don't know that I don't know if I
got
care
Rise
about...
of Skywalker vibes off this movie immediately. Like they're calling it the end of the franchise, the end of the Jurassic saga or whatever. I'm like, okay.
I don't know if I'm sold by the concept of what I think the story is, which if it's just Dr. Wu is somewhere undisclosed,
he's a rogue scientist making evil dinosaurs. Okay.
And flooding the world with dinosaurs. I'm like, is
he making millions of them to take over the world?
Is that going to be a satisfying story? I don't know. I don't know if that's a like can you make me, as much as I want to see them, can you make me believe that there's a good enough reason to rope the original trio into the adventure with these other characters and make them go catch Dr. Wu if that is indeed the plot? Like, I don't know. Can you sell me on that story? I'm not sure. We'll see.
You were talking about...
I'm sure I'll have fun. fun.
You were talking about directors, and like Sean Levy has made a lot of really good movies recently. You guys should watch Colin Trevorrow's last movie if you want any indication of how his next movie will be, because it's one of the worst things ever made, truly. But dinosaurs are cool, y'all. I'm still probably going to see this too, because I'm a shill for dinosaurs. Because again, no one else is giving me dinosaurs anywhere else, so I'll see this movie.
Well, isn't a question about that last movie, because I haven't seen it, but I heard it's you know, it's legendary. It lost him Star Wars 9. Is one movie really enough to put him in director jail? Because like Safety Not Guaranteed and Jurassic World are both, in my opinion, very good movies. Well, Jurassic World's a good movie.
Disagree on both of those movies.
You don't like Safety Not Guaranteed?
It's based off a true story of someone's real life drama that killed somebody. So I think that movie is really insensitive.
Oh, I don't know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, like you don't know these things until you know them. So like that was a movie that never should have got made, in my opinion. Yeah.
Lightyear.
My most anticipated movie of the year because we saw Zurg, baby. I'm all here for
this movie looks so sick.
You saw Zurg.
Like it's we don't get like, besides that it's like a good looking Pixar movie, we don't just get any animated sci-fi movies of this scale. Like the closest thing is something like a Star Wars, because that's like all CGI, right? Like we don't get big like Wall-E. Yeah, that's Pixar. Mm-hmm. Like this just looks super fun, and it's like like Zurg robots, and like Chris Evans sounds awesome. Like he's not doing Tim Allen, but he's got the
cadence of Lightyear.
He's got like the tone. Like he says one line of like, it's a really big robot. I'm like, oh my God, it's like almost like Tim Allen.
Just a massive robot.
Yeah, very Tim Allen. I'm like, oh my God, like I like that first trailer, but like but this trailer really sold me hard. Like I don't like Socks. I don't like the cat robot, but like everything else about this trailer like just ruled for me. I
actually do like Socks. I thought Socks is funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
Socks is another side.
I was really intrigued because both Megan and I, the first time we watched it, that first line that Socks says, we both went, is that Tom Hanks? Are they making Tom Hanks his companion? And it isn't. But for a moment we both heard, and every time I've heard that trailer, Socks doesn't sound like Tom Hanks in the rest of the trailer, but that first line, I'm like, is it Tom Hanks?
Is he in the movie and we don't know it?
Yeah, right. That'd be wild. But it's not.
Do you think him and Tim Allen make a cameo somewhere?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they'll last. I could believe Tim Allen, but I could also believe it not. But I could definitely believe like him as like if Buzz has a CO, it's Tim Allen. Or something. If he has a flashback to his dad,
and his dad's a cowboy.
Yeah.
Or you can have Tom Hanks like it's like, what do you like? Someone goes in his room, is like, why do you watch that old cowboy show? It's like, I like the and it's like the Adventures of Woody or something like
Woody's
that.
Roundup. The premise of the movie, like I didn't know. I don't know if it was released. Like they're stranded on an alien planet.
Right.
I thought they were like
humans
going to space for the first time. Like no, they're colonizing. Like they're in the future.
And
like
stuck.
And they're stuck. Like that's awesome. That's like a cool premise. Love it.
I cannot wait to see this movie in theaters. If it's on IMAX, even better. It looks gorgeous. It's got me. The second I heard that Chris Evans was Lightyear, and the second they're making a Lightyear movie that's about like Buzz Lightyear and actual space, I'm like, I'm in. You got me.
It's
I'm
kind
sold.
of silly to say given like the context, but I want the toys. the new toys.
No,
I
like
wanna be
the new
of
like.
course I'm gonna want it. That big dumb Zerg robot. Yes, I'm gonna want that. Holy
not the
shit!
only one.
Do I already have Zerg? Of course.
Yeah,
I
but you
do.
don't have this Zerg.
No, I don't.
Sparks,
They'll make. Oh my god, he's gonna look so cool. Oh my god.
Sparks, you're not the only one. I really want
got
those toys.
He's got his triple blaster, y'all. I didn't think we were gonna see Zerg before the movie. I really didn't. I thought they were gonna keep it like very vague, but the fact that we got like a full good look at him more than once in this, I'm like, oh boy.
This looks like a really, again, like outside of the like Pixar like IP of it, like it's just a dope looking space movie,
And
like
there's
a cool sci-fi movie.
and it's got solid comedy. You got like the guy who's like, "We're all counting on you."
Ah!
And he's like, "Yeah, I gotcha." Brandon, you haven't really said much about this one yet.
Oh, I wish I was hoping you would ask that question, but in a different phrase because of the next trailer. No, I'm very excited for this one. This is probably my most anticipated of the year. Like you guys said, I love science fiction. I love big, crazy science fiction, and this just looks like a science fiction movie.
Pixar movies always look gorgeous, but this looks like beautiful.
Yeah. And like again, like they've been like doing different styles for all like the newer movies too.
All
and
the different environments. Like this might be one of the most like insane amount of like different locations we're gonna get in a Pixar movie ever.
Because again, like it's mostly like Earth-based stuff they always
right.
make.
Yeah.
This is. I saw this trailer a couple times, and at the end of it, I said, "This is exactly the movie I wanted." When years later, we're like, "We're gonna do a Lightyear spin-off movie that's just gonna be the movie within the movie." I'm like, "Yes," and it has to be da 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 da, and like it's da 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 da. It's everything that I wanted from this movie.
The next they're gonna make like an animated Woody movie, but it's gonna be Django Unchained, but with Woody or something weird, crazy.
It's gonna be the Woody reboot.
It'll be what?
The gritty Woody reboot.
Yeah.
There's
a snake in my boot.
I'm so pleased. I think it looks so good.
Yeah, I think it. I'm so happy.
That ship design, I'm gonna want that ship. Oh, God.
I'm gonna change the order of these. We're in the Super Bowl trailers now.
Oh shit!
Which at least one of them like actually didn't come out with the Super Bowl. Came out earlier this week. Just like Jurassic World.
And the Adam Project.
Yep.
So the DC movies trailer.
Yeah, that's the one.
Snippets,
It wasn't until this was
snippets.
released that I went, holy shit, there's actually, we talked about it last week, but I'm like, there's 4 DC movies this year.
That's bananas.
Jesus.
One's very like less than a month.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not excited for one of them, but all of these got me hyped more for all of the movies.
Yeah.
Even the bad one. Even the one scene of the Flash with the goggles, I'm like, I kind of liked it. That looked cool.
I was the Black Adam one surprised me the most because like I thought I'd be like super excited for like Aquaman, which I am, but like the Black Adam one was like Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan looking fine as Dr. Fate.
It's just a JSA movie in the
and I'm the Atom Smasher and his that iconic costume. Oh man, I'm so excited.
Growing bigger in the buildings, like that's a good shot. This looks like a well shot movie. Handsome people everywhere. Really cool. Really cool. I didn't expect them to
so good.
show all those people.
I will say I'm a little nervous already that we're going to make Black Adam a hero immediately.
Me too.
They are. Oh,
Me too.
The way that Dr. Fate's talking to him, I'm like,
well, I don't know if you know it,
That'd be a
guys,
little
but
bit
the
of a back and forth.
hierarchy of the DC universe is
about to change. Yeah, but I always thought that meant that he was just going to beat the shit out of the
No, what it means is it's about drive. It's about power. He is going to be, unfortunately, like an anti-hero. He will still be like, I'm aggressive, but like I'm a hero.
When I saw this trailer dropped, it was with The Rock's tweet, and I was like, did he? Oh, he did say, and the hierarchy of the hierarchy of power in the DC universe will change. I go, you got it. You had to do it. You had to do it.
He needs you to know about the hierarchy. So Batman's coming out soon. Like I didn't need to see any more.
Pretty bold to make threats for a bunch of actors that aren't even present in that franchise anymore.
Oh, jeez. So Batman.
Where you at, Superman? It's like nobody knows.
Henry Cavill's just in his Witcher uniform, like I want to be there. That's right. So we got Batman coming soon. Obviously, looks great. Super excited. After that, it's Flash.
Yes, I believe so.
Michael Keaton still being there.
I think is Black Adam before? I don't remember anymore.
No, I don't think Black Adam's before Flash. I think it's after.
I think it's after, and then it's Aquaman.
I thought it was before because we definitely got more Black Adam footage so far than
we
got
did.
Flash.
We did.
Yeah, I thought
There is a Flash. There is a Flash There's a Flash trailer though.
Well, because but Flash was still filming when Black Adam was done. So
I'll tell you right now. Baby.
Anyway,
Black Adam July, The Flash November.
Hmm.
Crazy. But
And then
we're getting
Aquaman,
Flash
and then
right back to back.
Aquaman in December.
and then Avatar too.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question I asked Ryan, which is, if Flash does reset the universe, does Aquaman 2 take place in the reset universe or the pre-reset universe?
No, I can't. I gotta zip back up.
I don't want to. I don't want to
Guys,
have
we know
this
changes are
conversation.
coming because Batgirl is also set with J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon, but it has Michael
And
Keaton.
Michael
now.
Keaton as Batman. This
Wow.
universe gives me a headache.
If they're gonna do it right, they're gonna do it chronological, so it will take place in a new universe. But it won't. It won't.
Bold. Here's my answer. My answer is Aquaman 2. The whole entire movie takes place before the Flash reset. However, the post-credits scene establishes the Flash reset.
No.
because nothing in Aquaman will really
Well,
change.
no.
He'll just be like, wait, what happened?
It'll be like a wave, and like the green will turn to like a darker green. Like, oh, okay, cool.
And Amber Heard will change to Johnny Depp before our eyes.
Why are you looking at me, Arthur? What's wrong?
All right.
I'm excited. Like, even again, like I know we're all like not excited for the Flash, but like I did 4 DC movies are coming out this year, and like 3 of them look pretty sweet.
The hypest of the hype I got was that when Hawkman stretched those
Oh,
big-ass wings.
shit, dude.
Aldous Hodge. I'm
Dude,
so happy for
he
him.
worked out so hard.
I'm so happy for him.
Hell
He
yeah.
didn't
The
have to
most-
do that much working out. I saw that butt in The Invisible Man. Good workout butt.
I saw Dr. Fate, like both shots of Dr. Fate, like the Pierce Brosnan one and then him in the costume. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And Adam Smasher is a guy who grows, and like a Cyclone is a person who makes cyclones. Like Dr. Fate is a Doctor Strange where he does crazy magical shit. So like
The
guys,
Lord of Order.
the hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change.
Yeah, it's gonna be Superman and Batman are down here now. It's Black Adam, and then right up here is Peacemaker.
Yeah.
The hierarchy. Sonic the Hedgehog.
I didn't even see him. Sorry, what?
Sonic the Hedgehog too.
Yeah, baby, big robot, Ben.
The big robot at the end, which is the final boss fight of Sonic 2. You got Sonic and Knuckles fighting for the Master Emerald in the middle, which is a classic Sonic the Hedgehog. You see the Master Emerald, you see him clashing heads, which is just like a cub, which is like
Guys, this is how I feel like I would have felt if when Dragon Ball Evolution was being marketed, it actually looked like Dragon Ball.
well, yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, you just like did it. You just did it.
Does-
you did the thing.
Does he turn into Supersonic in this?
yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna
I
say
think
they're not
that-
gonna wait till
my instinct says no,
my mind's telling me no.
but I'm
my
thinking a little
body-
bit more about it. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna go middle of the road. I'm gonna say he
You
grabs.
centrist.
I'm gonna say he grabs an emerald to help boost his power, but he doesn't.
So he
become
goes
supersonic.
Kaioken.
Right.
Okay, I'm super saying he's Kaioken. Okay, all right.
I'm gonna say
Oh.
You gotta do Kaioken first because you gotta like tease up what's
no, I
coming.
get it. I get it.
But I will say it's him and Knuckles. They both like taking Emerald Piece. They both get superpower. They both fight big robot stuff.
Oh,
No, they do. Or in the Sonic games. Okay, so fun fact: Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the actual Genesis game, first game to have Supersonic. If you collect all 7 emeralds and you got 50 rings, you hit a button, you become Supersonic.
I'm sorry. Are you explaining it to me or are you explaining it to him?
To the audience.
Yeah. Okay. Not
No,
me.
he's explaining it to Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, to Willem Dafoe. So
Tell me more, honey.
I'm also trying to give my reason as to why I think Sonic is gonna go supersonic in this movie.
Yeah,
Because
makes sense.
if we're having like the robot, we're also having Gun, which is from the Adventure series. But if they're so
if
far,
our
they're making-
if our world ever turns into Ready Player One, I'm teaming up with Ben.
Oh,
I guess here's my reasoning because I'm not entirely convinced the Chaos Emeralds are in this movie.
we do see
I
the Master
think
Emerald.
Mike-
But you're
It'll
right,
be
we
Master
don't see
Emerald.
the Chaos Emerald.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we might just get the Master Emerald.
that's
Okay.
yeah. They
But
might-
you can't turn.
But I could see them channeling the power of the Master Emerald, Kaioken style, not getting super form yet, but getting teased like, yo, now there's 7 Chaos Emeralds out there. Something
that's
could happen.
that's the
Okay.
cliffhanger.
I can
That's
see
the
that.
next one.
And
I'm excited for this movie.
All right, so question. All right, yeah, question 2. It hasn't been in
Here's
any
the
of the
reason.
marketing, but
Real quick. Sorry, Ben. Real quick. The only reason I think that is because I think if they do want to keep this movie relatively simple and straightforward, as much as they are trying to put stuff in it, the Master Homeworld is already a MacGuffin. I don't think they're going to introduce 7 more MacGuffins.
That's true.
okay, understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing, and Eggman needs, or Robotnik needs. He goes after the emeralds, which is what gets Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails their super forms anyway.
And that'll be the next movie, and they'll bring in even more of the Sonic characters, and it's a big Emerald Infinity War hunt.
You see me.
So-
you see me.
I see it.
So, question: Metal Sonic, this movie or next movie? Because that's been a rumor that's been
Also-
floating around for a while.
Oh,
That I believe more than Supersonic, to be honest. But
Metal Sonic?
I honestly would not be surprised if that's also only teased this movie.
I'm okay with the
what
tease.
what if the villain? Because I'm not convinced. We're talking about this longer than I thought, which makes me really excited. 'Cause I'm actually excited for it. The big robot. I'm not convinced that's the final boss. Of the
It's
movie.
not. I
So,
don't
yeah.
think it is at all.
I think Metal Sonic might actually. That might make sense. And then Knuckles him and have to team up because Robotnik will throw Knuckles out because like, oh, you're not as good as I made a new guy, and Knuckles will be so mad he's to team up with Sonic.
I could definitely see Knuckles and Sonic teaming up to fight Metal Sonic.
Oh,
I think that is far more likely than we get Supersonic.
that's a 3. That's a 3 thing.
I'm excited for this movie.
I think the locations look really great. I was really surprised and happy that we've gone away from the urban locations of the
Dude.
first movie.
Like seeing the giant robot was like seeing Ozaru in live action, which has never happened. But
Yeah.
it's like that's what it felt like. I'm like, oh man, this is like if I saw Big Ape Vegeta in a live action trailer. Like they really did it. They
Yeah.
really did it. This is
Not
a
only
full
that-
blown 180 from how I felt about the original Sonic trailers.
Mhm.
Like
Sports,
this is
not
like,
really.
yo, what if
They're
we just
leaning
embraced?
in.
What if we just embraced everything about the games? And I'm like, yo.
Sparks, not only that, it looks just like it. It's got the mustache, it's got the eyes, the nose, it's everything. It looks exactly like the game. It's like, oh my god, they freaking did it.
My concerns when the first one came out was that I was like, it feels like they think that the designs from the games would look too stupid in person for like most of Robotnik's bots or Robotnik himself and all this kind of stuff. And now we're here and I'm like, no, they know they can just go crazy.
Like,
Which came first, Dragon Ball Z or Sonic?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball
Okay,
Z.
so Sonic has been was
The
influenced
written
by,
manga chapter where Goku becomes Super Saiyan comes before Sonic the Hedgehog goes Super Sonic.
because I didn't realize there's 7 Emeralds, 7 Dragon Balls, Super Sonic, Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
It's all connected, baby.
The bit of like super form golden Dragon Ball stakes the claim on the originating that.
Nice. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah. Real happy to be happy about it.
Yeah, for real.
You should have seen my face.
The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power.
Oh, interesting.
Not a lot shown, but looks good.
It definitely looks expensive.
It's definitely a teaser. Like it's hard to parse like because there's no like character or story. It's just like these are what people look like and how expensive it looks. Yes, it does look
the
expensive.
world looks like the world. And
Yes.
The armor looks like the armor.
That's all I could ask for. Honestly,
Mhm.
like in a teaser, like
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I am bummed that when they were doing like before the king, before
they didn't do the
blah,
two
blah, blah,
towers.
that they didn't say when they said before the ring that it didn't go big THE the ring
Before the-
the ring, or like underline it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no complaints.
I thought, I really like how this is shaping up. I'm hopeful for we won't get another trailer for a while.
All eyes will be on that show, man, and it's
Young Ned Stark
it will
in
be
there, baby.
wild to see if it succeeds or fails.
Mhm.
Young Ned, love him.
In Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
30-second teaser.
It's not in the spot, but did you want to talk about Mr. Knight?
Oh, for some reason they released. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it just in case anyone hasn't ever like.
Sure.
Yeah, so they released a 30-second Super Bowl spot.
I've seen a lot of opinions, and I also saw your opinion, so I was curious if you just wanted to weigh in on that or just leave it.
There is another costume reveal that I think was
No.
for Entertainment Weekly or something that I think looks really cool. I'm questioning why it's so early in the show because it's a costume that he doesn't get for like 30 years after his first appearance. But that's besides the point. It's
Could be
more of
different
like-
personalities. Different personalities have different Moon Knights.
That's not how. That doesn't matter. Could be. That'd be a different take on it. It's just more of the trailer, like him flip flopping between like dreams and waking up, like a lot more of the Egyptian stuff. Like they are definitely doing the Mark Spector is a mercenary in Egypt and gets like some bad shit happens in Egypt.
I like that tattoo.
Yeah, the moving tattoo.
There's a shot in this that I really liked. It's when Oscar Isaac has like the Rubik's Cube and then it snaps to a field and you just see Khonshu behind him for just briefly. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, all of that like waking up stuff and you're in a different place is like really scary and like done really well in that first trailer and in this one too.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I don't know why, but one thing that got me just super giddy was when he does his cape and the cape goes into the form of the moon.
Oh yeah, bro, that big cape.
Like everything else, like the costume, the fighting, you see Khonshu and the stuff in Egypt is like, oh man, I'm ready for this.
And he catches his moonerang.
Yeah, he catches that. Like when I downloaded Marvel Unlimited on my phone, I was like, characters to read Moon Knight. You got that shit in there ready to go.
Yeah,
now
I'm very excited for the show. I hope it delivers.
Me too. It better or else.
Yeah, I will. That'll be sad. Sad times.
Do you want to do the Marvel one or the Jordan Peele one?
Yes.
Jordan Peele.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I guess.
not of planet Earth.
Yeah. So.
I think Ryan said it really well, where he's like, it's aliens, but you also know that there's something else.
Yeah. It's not
something
just
more
aliens.
is going on. It's never just that. I said, and after he said that, I was like, Jordan Peele really has become like the anti J.J. Abrams, where he's the master of the mystery.
Yeah.
He knows how to satisfy with like setting you up for like what's going on, and he's gonna like deliver that punch one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really loved how this trailer played out. I love kind of what we see. We only get like hints of the alien design, and like there's the girl with like the face is all messed up, and you kind of see the top of one's head like moving around the thing like that. Go ahead.
Oh, there's like a bunch of faces of they look like owls almost, like a bunch of like they're almost owl looking. Yeah.
So like that, all that imagery is really cool, and then there's another aspect of it where it's like it looks like it's filmed in a way that makes an alien invasion look like you would hear during like Roswell was happening, and like, oh, they did this. It looks like how they would describe the terror they felt of being shoved up into a spaceship.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really clearly like tense and uncomfortable moments that we're only getting glimpses of. I had no worries going into it. I know Jordan Peele's gonna deliver.
Somebody said like, this mother effer is about to make me scared of the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing like 2 minutes. Like that's gonna be
when they all go. Ooh.
So the fear of 2022 is gonna be these guys.
Mag's like, I have so many questions, but nope.
Oh yeah. It just like us and Get Out. Like what is it like really going on about like the shot at the end where like she gets abducted literally straight out of the air. There's not many movies that like just do that. There's a movie from the 2000s called The Forgotten.
You saw the Patrick Wilson suite.
Yes, but I saw that movie in theaters when I was a kid, and that movie's not very good. But it reminded me of like
sequence.
That movie is really cool because it just yanks people out of the air in mid scene, and it's really scary. It's like the only thing memorable about that movie. But like they're doing it here too, and it's like, oh my god, that is so scary.
There's like, a shot. There's a shot that I really liked where it's at nighttime and someone's in like a phone booth, I think, and they look up and like the almost like twirling like wind or water around them, and then you just see the edge of the ship kind of like with the thing. It's terrifying.
It's like the Independence Day shot of the shadow moving.
Yeah.
With the ship, and it's like how just overwhelmingly big it is. So like very curious what clearly it's aliens, but like what's the weird thing about these aliens that I can't wait to see.
It's us from the future.
Us from
All right.
It's Lupita with the scissors, but in space. God.
All right.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a planet.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Guys, real quick, hold on. We've talked so much shit about like this movie being a lot of things and like what could it mean, and we did the same thing before Spider-Man came out. But let me tell you guys, I just watched this trailer for this movie. It looks so good. It looks so sick. Oh my god, I'm so mad that I'm gonna probably love this movie after everything I've said.
The most important thing to me is that this looks like a Sam Raimi directed movie.
Yes.
With a big budget. And I'm so relieved and grateful that it looks so good. Like this movie's going to be a treat to watch one way or another. And I'm happy to know that already.
Yeah.
And then there's all the other factors that are like, Yo, what?
Like,
um,
the fact that they showed some stuff in this means that a lot of those things that we probably heard about are true, which makes it mean like this movie is going to be insane.
Wanda,
Holy shit.
Wanda facing Wanda in what looks like her home from WandaVision.
Yes.
I'm like, oh man, baby, and
Yeah.
get some of those shots. The shot where it's coming in on her eye. I'm like, oh
the,
god,
the spinning Doctor Strange shot. I'm like, oh my god.
There's there's the shot where he's with America going through like the different dimensions, like breaking through, and you just see like the blocks come out, like forming in his face, and oh my god!
I thought the first Doctor Strange was a visual feast for the eyes.
Mhm.
This one looks like, yeah.
By the way,
we cranked that up to 11 last time. Let's crank it up to 13 now. Just break this dial.
By the way, it's totally interesting to me that like what was like really cool to watch in Doctor Strange, like the first Doctor Strange, is just now kind of like, oh yeah, it's Doctor Strange. That's what Doctor Strange does.
Oh, he just like warps reality at a whim, no big deal. Like that's just normal for us because like we saw it
Right.
in Spider-Man, right?
But like they saw it in Spider-Man and Infinity War, and it's like, oh yeah, that's just what he does. But this one like like what Ben is saying also like ups it a lot. There's a lot of really cool visual stuff in this. But to echo what Sparks said, the thing that made me very excited was that this felt like a Sam Raimi movie. His voice is all over this trailer, and I was concerned that he would be nerfed by the Marvel formula. I was getting that way, but
just real quick, adding to it that like this combined with Eternals, like the MCU might be taking baby steps, but it does look like it's moving in the direction I want it to at last.
Yeah. I am still worried about all those cameos. But now I kind of have an idea with where we saw. Look, it's in the trailer. Professor Xavier. It's Patrick Stewart, Professor Xavier. I think that scene is where all the cameos we've been hearing of are.
Yes, I agree with you, and I think that then it makes sense.
So it's weird talking about rumors that are probably going to be true because then you're talking about what's happening in the movie. But that's the state of this job. But also, this is something from the comics, but it's radically different.
Tom Cruise, Iron Man.
Let's get there. Hold on. Yes. Besides the fact that we did see a universe with a bunch of Ultron-looking Iron Man bots, which is something that the superior Iron Man did in the comics when he moved to San Francisco and was evil. There's so much. Oh, I lost my train of thought because I was so excited about. Oh, Illuminati. That's
the multiverse Illuminati.
The multiverse Illuminati. Charles Xavier is a member of the Illuminati. I do not think that the Fox X-Men version that we got would be a member of that. A multiverse version of Professor Xavier that is Patrick Stewart on the Illuminati makes sense. The Bryan Singer Professor X is not someone I think who would be doing multiverse saving. So I think it is Patrick Stewart in a different. It's me, but from another universe. Because
honestly, I'm happy that it's Patrick Stewart and not James McAvoy. No offense, James McAvoy, who I desperately love, but like if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna do what I think is happening with this Illuminati, with this multiverse Illuminati, I'm glad it's Patrick Stewart.
Me too. Yeah. And it is a worry again before seeing the trailer and getting kind of what the context is like. His last performance was Logan, and like that is a really great thing to go on him. But if he's not playing that same exact character,
which you have to believe,
you have to believe, like he's playing a multiverse, like this. This is the Xavier who
he's
went
just
on
playing
this
an Xavier who probably might not even have anything to do with any of the X-Men movies we watched him in, like, and that's okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Which would solve a big mutant problem, which a lot of people are currently facing with him being in this trailer, which is a whole other bag of worms that I really don't want to get into about mutants.
I love what Max said below.
Yeah, it's great. There is a poster that got released, and on the poster there is a fragment that has Captain Britain's shield on it. She is in the movie. Like the poster confirms it itself. Like,
well, Captain Carter.
Captain Carter. Sorry, yes. Thank God it's not Captain
Britain. That's the easiest one to kind of like.
She's in What If. She's in What If. Like it is even more confirmation that we think that this Doctor Strange probably is still the What If Doctor Strange, even though the optics might not work.
Well, there's a few Doctor Stranges in this. I counted 4 different Doctor Stranges in this trailer.
Yes, I can't even speculate. Like
it's hard to even know where to begin. So like there's going to be a lot thrown at us, and it's not something I want to run like the whole gamut on. I am sold by the visual storytelling that is on display here. I am sold by like knowing at the heart of this story is Wanda and Steven.
Yeah.
And like what's going on for both of them and who they are and who they've become because of the choices they've made and how that's going to affect them. And like this, it's unfortunate, but I do think this is kind of going to be the epilogue capstone for Wanda's development through WandaVision.
Yeah.
That this is where we're actually going to get like her turnaround on how she faces herself and processes who she's
Yeah.
become and what choices she's made and what that leaves us with. Because like when we left WandaVision, it's kind of like an ambivalent, like I did a bad thing and like that's whatever, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave now. Goodbye. And now it's like we get that Wanda thinks like, I don't think what I did was that bad, and Wanda maybe having to face like maybe what I did was bad.
They did a real quick. They did a beautiful thing by giving us the line of like, you know, like when I do something. When
you break the rules, you're a hero. When I do it, I'm a bad guy.
So that is beautiful because that's misdirect. Because now everyone thinks Wanda's the villain of this movie.
Right.
And Stephen Strange told you who the villain of this movie is in the first minute of dialogue. He says, I keep having the same repeating nightmares. Nightmare is the villain of this movie. He's a huge Marvel, like, evil dimension cosmic villain. I don't know how they're going to incorporate all of this stuff into there with the multiverse.
And Shuma-Gorath.
And Shuma-Gorath. Like, I have to imagine that Nightmare is utilizing the broken multiverse to feed off nightmares.
The presence of the Illuminati has actually put me much more at ease.
Me too.
Because it makes me feel like a lot of these big, like, oh, these could really derail the film cameos, are most of them confined to one point of story and not like just elaborately strewn about all throughout the film. So like we get still our big, like it's just a setup of the concept of like what is going on in the larger multiverse and what Steven has stepped into.
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect way to use these kinds of cameos. I hope we get Ian Gruffud back as Reed Richards.
Yeah.
From the old Fantastic Four movies. Bring him back.
And like characters like Ghost Rider, who might be in this film, are not on the Illuminati, but there is a broken multiverse where they can just show up and they have to be dealt with. Like that is the kind of, now that I've seen the trailer, like that's the kind of fun stuff that I'm okay with. Like it's not big, it's not a huge thing in the plot. It's like the multiverse is broken, shit's gonna happen. Like I would expect it. If it didn't happen, I'd be mad. You know what I mean? If I'm reading a multiverse comic, I expect that. So
the Illuminati thing, I'm very on board with, but I believe that the Illuminati thing also deconfirmed some rumors. I think once the line that this is going to be a celebration of Marvel thing dropped, people started running with anything they would hear, like, oh, this character. I don't actually think Blade and Ghost Rider are in this movie. I do think that all the Illuminati are characters that are either rumored to be like Tom Cruise or Jim from The Office as Reed Richards. I forgot his name. John Krasinski as Reed Richards. I believe that the Illuminati are just our cameos, and then the rest is just Strange and other Stranges with America Chavez and Wanda.
Outside of Captain Carter, and then whoever that other world Captain Marvel is, whether that's Monica or Maria.
Yeah, so because like there's Wanda fights somebody in this trailer, and a lot of people are like, is that Monica Rambeau? Is that Captain Marvel from another universe? Is it Maria Rambeau?
A lot of people have looked at it and think it looks a lot like Lashana Lynch.
Yeah, so it might be like people are speculating it's some type of Captain Marvel binary spectrum.
Yeah. Somewhat, but I mean, people are also speculating that it's Superior Iron Man, which I thought was funny.
If you look in high detail, like no offense to Tom Cruise, but that's lady thighs.
He is
thighs.
He is Superior Iron Man was trending today because of that, which I thought was cool.
The trending topics are, dude, Namor is trending, and Namor is not even in this movie because he's on the Illuminati, but he's not in this movie. Namor is trending. I'm like,
we think
he's in Wakanda forever.
Okay, but real quickly, Ben, sorry, I just want to say one last thing on Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. I do not think this is how we're getting mutants into the universe. I just think we're just getting Professor X, and we will get mutants somewhere down the line.
With Wanda being here, I don't know. I
feel like it could go either way, and honestly, I'm like, it has to happen at some point.
Yeah,
and I trust them to find the right way to figure it out when they decide to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not speculating one way or another. Like I'm just like, whenever they decide that they're ready to incorporate mutants is whenever they decide they're ready to incorporate mutants, and I will come along for the ride. It could be this and it could not be, and I could see both avenues for why and why not.
I just keep going back to, I don't think it's a good idea to bring in a multiverse mutants as you're like, that's how mutants exist now.
Here's the thing. It wouldn't be multiverse. They were hiding the mutants on Earth the entire time from the public.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. But Professor Xavier is a multiverse character in this.
Yes. I don't know why he'd be the one to do it. That's just one of the things people have brought online. Like, of all, like, this might not be the best way to bring mutants in, but of all the properties and ways to do it, like this kind of lines up and like, I guess this is the one to do it. Like, it wouldn't be Ant-Man.
I mean, you would just make an X-Men movie.
That's true, but I just like, do they want to do the groundwork early as well?
But you still have to establish like did mutants suddenly appear, or have mutants been here? Like, what's going on?
I do think they will establish that before the movie comes out. Yeah.
Ben, you were trying to say something.
I don't know if I don't think because I did watch this trailer before we started recording. But they did have like a little thing in the Super Bowl before kickoff where I saw Zombie Wanda. And I don't think
there's also Zombie Doctor Strange.
There's more material in the
But
TV spot that we didn't see.
Yeah, there was a quick like 10-second TV, so I was like, see the full trailer online, and it showed Zombie Wanda doing her crazy magic. So I'm thinking, so that could be who Wanda was fighting.
We see Zombie Strange at the end of the regular trailer.
Yeah, we see Zombie Strange in both the TV spot and the trailer. So it's like that's cool, but also we get to see Zombie Wanda again. So she's for sure in the movie.
Yeah. What I mean, yes. What I mean is like both Wanda and Strange are both zombie things. So like either they're in an evil dimension or they're both being their life sucked out of them or something. Like they're both being affected, probably by a villain, which means they're working together. I don't want her to be the villain of this movie.
This is Jet Li's The One.
It could be. That's what if Doctor Strange is building up to.
It could be. I'm pleased as peaches that it looks as good as it does, and that I'm very glad that the story is focused on Wanda and Steven, and that's at the heart, and then everything else that's like permeating out, rippling out from those two.
Yeah.
That's all I want, and I have faith that we can go forward positively towards this film right now, which is really nice.
Same.
Because I was getting nervous.
I'm glad to be again where I was with Spider-Man. We're like, oh, I'm actually positive now about it. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Should we get into our main topic?
Let's descend.
I think let's spend 15-ish more minutes
on
something else.
The alley.
Welcome to this episode of Animation Station. I am your host, Sparks Whitty.
That wasn't the Animation Station intro, was it?
No. I'm glad you got scared.
All right, so full spoilers for Nightmare Alley. This is Guillermo del Toro's Oscar-nominated film and is nominated for Best Picture Oscar this year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
So let's get into it. So full spoilers, like I said, what do we think about this one?
I think it's pretty good. I'll be honest. I've seen all of Guillermo del Toro's movies. He hasn't made like 1,000. Like his early '90s ones, where a lot of people have missed, but like because I was a young film nerd, so I watched all of them. So like, this is definitely one of my least favorite of his movies. That's not a terribly negative thing because he's made nothing but good movies. So like, I think this movie's pretty good. I just think there's a lot of things for me that just lack like just so many good elements in this movie, but just the overall picture for me is weaker than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense.
Sparks or Ben? Do you want to go next with your thoughts?
Let me tell you how I think about this movie.
Oh, okay, guess I'm going next. I really enjoy this movie, but I don't think it's Best Picture worthy. It's still a really good movie, but at the same time, I was unlike Shape of Water, where Shape of Water, I knew what I was getting myself into, but I still was enraptured, and I was ready for this. I was ready for that movie, and I loved that movie. Whereas this one, I went in thinking one thing, and then I got something else. And while the something else isn't bad, it just wasn't exactly what I was hoping for.
I think this is pretty similar to Crimson Peak in the sense that, like, if you go into the movie not necessarily prepared to meet the movie at its level, it's going to be a little bit of a steeper climb. Not necessarily that, like, you should have to, but I think that just makes it harder. This movie is really, really entrenched in... Del Toro made a movie that would have been made in the 40s, but he made it today, and he made it a little longer than it probably would have been made in the 40s, but not. But honestly, not by that much. He kind of rides the scene pacing that is of the time, and he just brought that. So like in that sense of like going for that, he absolutely nailed it 100%. Like if you put this into a black and white and filtered down the audio so that it sounded like the way they recorded films back then and did all that, it'd be really wild to be like, wow, what is Bradley Cooper doing in 1942? Like it's very befitting. It's shot and made lovingly in each piece of design and framing to be one of those movies but made today. And in that regard, I think it's incredible. It's an incredible adaptation of art. I think a lot of things have tried to capture the vibe of old films made today. and not done anywhere near as well as this one. I think this is like a
I'll
peak
agree with
level
that.
of understanding the eye of what that takes.
Yeah.
The part
Have you
where
seen the original?
huh?
Have you seen the original?
No.
Oh.
I have not.
This makes me want to, though.
It does make me want to.
I didn't know there was an original.
But I think the thing that pulls this movie back for me, the like major drawback, and I think it's actually really, really great. I love it a lot. I do think it's a little long in the tooth, but I also was totally fine with it. Like, there's nothing that I felt like I would have trimmed out, because I like everything it's doing for every character, and I feel like every scene is necessary. It's just a slow told story, and sometimes those movies are just slow burn, and you're either for it or you're not, and that doesn't really say anything about you. You just are. Like, what are you in the mood for? And I was in the mood for the slow burn, so it hit me right. But my one big issue with it is that I think Bradley Cooper's great. I've seen him do really great performances. I feel like he's not as charming as this character should be when he's trying to be charming. Not that he needs to be charming throughout the whole movie, but when he's trying to lay it on, I don't think he's doing it. This character doesn't seem to be as charming as I think he should be when he's supposed to be. And I just don't understand that part. I want a little bit more of the snake oil man to come out of him.
He's a
in
con
certain
man.
scenes,
Yeah.
and it's just not there. That performance doesn't elevate that material enough for me. In certain scenes, in a lot of things where he's doing his quiet moments, his intimate moments where he's being honest about himself being a piece of shit and he knows it, or things like that, and he's trying to scam someone but he's scamming someone on an honest level, it's working. But when he's supposed to be like playing up the charm hardcore, that's where the movie really falters for me as far as performance.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with most of that. It's not my favorite Del Toro. I think it's still Pacific Rim, honestly. But like, I think I've seen Del Toro make some incredible movies that I just love. Crimson Peak, Shape of Water. No, my movie's hell. This kind of the lower echelon for Del Toro for me, but I did really like it because I like the pacing of it, even though it was a little too long. But again, like Spark said, I don't know what you would cut because it's very deliberate.
I think it's all done with purpose, and it's clearly like expanding those characters, and like the only way to truly cut this film down is to cut a character.
And that's the thing. Like, I really don't have like a lot of negatives about it, but I'm not in love with it either.
Yeah.
Like, it is so much movie in like a good way, but like it just like I don't think it's paced badly. I just think I do think it's too long for the story that it's telling. Because like
just like you, Ryan, because there are parts of it where I'm watching this movie and I'm like, man, I feel like this movie is long, but at the same time, I'm not bored. I'm invested. I want to see what happens. And even when Madame Xena does the fortune telling reading for him, and she's like, the hanged man is upside down. You're screwed. Bad things are gonna happen. I was thinking, like, he's gonna lose it all, he's gonna die, or he's gonna become the new geek.
I called that from the beginning of the movie.
Nice.
As soon as I heard the geek say, "I'm not like this," I was like, "Oh, Bradley Cooper by the end of this movie is going to be the new geek." I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
And I think that's very true of like the storytelling of those kinds of films at that set in time, is that you kind of know exactly what it's not a very complicated story. It's more about how it's given to you. That's the interesting part. It's not that complex.
Right, because then it kind of ups the dread level, because as you see him pick up the being a bad husband, pick up drinking, doing these other grifts, like you start to you like, oh, this is how it's happening. It creates a different type of suspense.
Right.
So,
you pretty much know from the outset he's doomed in one way or another. He's doomed for something bad.
Yeah.
It's the movie's not hiding that from you. Go ahead, Ben.
I want to talk about her before I forget. I love Cate Blanchett in this movie.
Sure.
Yeah, she's my favorite part, probably.
She is my favorite. She's my favorite actor. I love Willem Dafoe. Always nails it. Ron Perlman being there. I really like Molly. Bradley Cooper also gives a stellar performance, but Cate Blanchett, what can she not do? She
heavy Emma Frost vibes in this one.
Yeah, she's Emma Frost vibes. She just oozes personality and oozes like, I mean, the only way I could word this is like she just oozes bad bitch personality 101.
Yeah,
like she walks into a room, it's like, you love me, but you're also gonna hate me, and I'm 100%. She's just so good at that role, and I'm like, damn it, that's just so good.
She pulls off and Megan brought it up because I couldn't think of the right word. She pulls off a dirty rotten scoundrels on our main character, and I was like, oh, I love it. I love it so much.
Because she was grifting him the whole time.
Yeah. Again, like I'm gonna be positive about the movie. I like all the performances. I generally like. I do agree with you about like. I wish Bradley Cooper. He's good, but I think another actor could have probably brought more to the role.
I think even he could have done it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the choice to not have him just push that out because I've seen him do it. I've seen him be charming.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why it's not
He's
here.
in Limitless and like being like swarmy and charming.
Right.
So, like, yeah.
18.
Like,
18, yeah.
It's right there. Like, I
Yeah.
know he's capable of it. I don't know why he and Del Toro or whatever combination there is within didn't decide to push that performance a little further in those scenes because, like, again, I think he's excellent in everything that's like a quiet, intimate moment. It's the part where he's supposed to be like really sleazing someone up that he's just not doing it for me. I feel like he's not as that character convincing me, and that might have been a choice to try to say like, honestly, he's not that good at this.
Yeah,
like he's barely getting by on it. And I understand that choice because that is who he's supposed to be. Like if he were really good at it, he wouldn't struggle, right?
Yeah.
He'd be able to pull this off all on his own a lot of the time. And I get that that's there. There's just somewhere in the middle of those two ideas that I needed him to just push the performance a little bit.
and he's a straight up just murderer too.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah.
The murder. I do think, and it's probably true to his character, but I did find that the violence at the end of the movie. And Del Toro does it in all of his rated R movies. Like in Pan's Labyrinth, like it's extremely violent too at times. Like he's punching that dude's face inside. Like
his nose was gone.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know if that was super necessary. Honestly,
he pops a piece of glass out of his fist like a zit.
Oh,
and
a
I'm
tooth.
like,
it's a tooth.
No, it's a tooth then.
oh, it's a tooth. Never mind. He pops a tooth out of his fist,
yeah.
or out of his knuckle like a zit.
I will push back on that because two things. One, I think the violence is shot incredibly well. I think that unlike a lot of, it feels, again, in the tone of old films, like each hit feels like an impactful, important hit.
Yes.
Whereas I think we've all seen plenty of scenes where like, you're kind of punching into the person and you don't feel the weight of all those punches.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the weight of every single individual punch. It's like the talent that an actor has when they're saying the same word over and over again but differently. It's that same feel. The way that this was shot, the way that it was performed, I thought was really, really important and delicate for it. I don't think we're focused on the blood too much, which is another important part. It's there, but it's not the focus. And I think that it's necessary because he needs to have murdered the man to go on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Like he needs to have, like, it's because of his
the plot demands it.
Well, no, because his life demands it at this point. This is a guy who you are told he'll murder him if this goes south.
Yeah.
His life, he went in too deep and his life is now on the line. So he either kills him here or he will be hunted and killed. He knows this. And at this point in time, he thinks if I kill him here, I can at least get back to get my fortune and escape. So he has to run with that idea because the alternative is I will be hunted and probably killed before I get to my money.
I will allow you that. Yes. I didn't feel he probably would have gotten killed, like beat up by that guy. But like in that exact moment when he's just yelling for the other guy, I didn't feel like I thought that was too extreme for the moment. If the other guy was coming and about to do something, maybe, but I just felt like in that moment, for me, it was just too much. But like that does make sense. Maybe if the execution were different, I'd feel
perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, like Richard Jenkins, incredible performance by the way. Richard Jenkins, amazing in this. Played Ezra as the one
a crazy billionaire.
Richard Jenkins has a really great delivery of the line where he's like, I'm going to destroy you for this.
Oh, yeah.
Right before Bradley Cooper starts wailing in on him. And
see, I'm going to destroy you for this doesn't mean murder. That means I'm going to destroy your life in my eyes.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
But it's Cate Blanchett's line earlier in the film that says, like, you screw this up, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
He kills people for this. Like you don't screw around with him.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when she mentioned, like early in the, before the grift starts, she mentions to him, like, look, it's like, there are consequences. Then later on, she shows him the scar that he gave her.
Yeah,
and then even when Ezra's saying I hurt people, I hurt girls, and he's like, what did you do? He's like, I hurt them. It's like, this dude just did.
It's kind of there's kind of a 1-2-3 punch here where it's like, there's the I hurt girls thing, and now he's got that in his head when he strikes his love, and so that throws him into a rage, and then the idea that if he stops, this man will still kill him, so he's
Okay,
got to
so
keep going
I
further.
think
what I figured it out for me. What it is, it's not the punching. It is that like this entire movie has not been gory or violent until this moment, and then we see a dude's inside of his face hole. That's
Sure.
what I mean.
Sure,
That's
I get
what
that,
I mean.
and I can reasonably agree
Yeah.
with questioning the shot of how much we see of the violence
Yes.
done to his face. But as far as the violence that his character is committing, I
No,
think
that's fine.
No.
Sure.
But what I was going to say is like what I really appreciated about it is because I was nervous all the way up to that point in the film, not necessarily like thinking like this is where we're heading, but I was always nervous that he was going to strike Molly at some point, and I'm really glad we never did it. I'm
Once
really
the
glad.
drinking, yeah.
I'm really glad because this is a person who, yes, has murdered people, but he never did violence to do it. He tried to always do it without violence. This is a guy who doesn't see himself as a violent man. And so the fact that this is a crescendoing moment is, I think, really relevant to the story that we've told. I'm really grateful that we never saw him slap Molly because it felt like there were moments he was going to. I'm really glad that those things didn't happen. He never did violence to anybody until this moment. So the fact that that wasn't permeated throughout the film, but instead it feels like this absolute act of sudden desperation really makes the moment land. I can agree. I don't know that we definitely need the shot of how violent it was on the man, but the act of it itself and everything else around that, I'm like, that totally worked, and it totally worked in the entire build-up of the character's setup for it.
Yeah, because like again, like in Pan's Labyrinth, that is a movie that is like very fantastical, and then there's some truly brutal moments of like people's faces getting broken.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I just don't know if that's always necessary when the whole movie isn't that way. You know what I mean? And like, it's to show how extreme violence can be, but also sometimes it's like, do you need to do that? And like the violence itself, yes, makes sense. That I will agree to that one. But like, this movie is not really rated R, and then it turns extremely rated R to see a dude's face. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
Yeah.
I think that you could.
I'm the most violent person here. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I think you're right. Like in the context of the film, I will even go so far as to say like the only reason, one of the reasons I don't like that shot is because that's the only shot that to me wouldn't be in a 1942 film.
Yeah.
Because you would instead get it like more out of focus.
Yeah.
Or very wide. And I think if it had done those things where like you kind of have the vague idea, but most of it's left to your imagination, I think might have been better.
I even said to you like halfway through the movie, like this is a very subdued Del Toro movie.
Yeah.
In terms of not just violence, but like his style and like being very what's the word? Extravagant, extraordinary, extravagant. Thank you. I had a brain fart. But like, yeah, like again, like he has violence throughout all of his other movies, and this one is like very not violent until it's very violent. And I'm just like, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah,
I talked about it way too long. I'm sorry.
No. I think it's a good contentious point, and I do think like I agree. I think I would agree. Like I would change that shot. I wouldn't change the violence. I wouldn't change the act. I wouldn't change pretty much everything around it. But the shot, I would have gone wide, or I would have put him out of focus. I would have left more of that violence to the imagination.
Yeah.
Because him pulling out the tooth later would be enough to tell me how.
That is all I needed, baby.
Right, and that would be in a 1942 film where you'd pull that out and you'd be like, "Oh, that's bad."
Yeah.
And that would convey to you what you couldn't quite see. That's how bad it was. Like you could, because you can lie to yourself. And I think this was maybe the intent at the time that like, you need to know he's dead.
Yeah.
But like you could lie to yourself and say he's not dead until he pulls that tooth out. And then if it were vague, right?
Yeah.
So I can agree with that. Like, I think that maybe that the showing of it is a step too far.
That's just Del Toro. Like if he's making a movie rated R, he loves his gore sometimes, which is fine.
You do have the gore of the chicken murder.
You do. That is.
You pretty much hit that high, hard point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really, I think that is a good, like, Del Toro's a great storyteller. And I think that's very much like, you know, he's a man looking down on this and he's like, I would never be so violent. I would never be so grotesque. And now here he is. He is violent. He is grotesque. And it's like, this is what I was born to do.
Great arc for our main character.
100%.
Oh, God. I do think the movie runs a little long, but like we needed all that length for him to have a long journey, because like nothing makes me more mad than when someone has one drink and they're immediately an alcoholic, because I deal with alcoholism, so I know what that's really like. So like the fact that it took a while for him to really get there, and even then he doesn't like become a monster. He definitely is a different person.
It just feels like a more realistic representation.
Yeah. And I super appreciated that, and like
the slippery slope of it.
And when we get to the end where he's in the train yard with the other homeless men, and he asks for a drink, and he gets a drink, like, and that's when you know he's fallen off the deep end.
Gives the last thing that he owns is his watch. Yeah.
And then when what's that guy's name? The leader from The Incredible Hulk, I forgot his name.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
When he offers him the drink, the shot, and he doesn't take the drink himself, I'm like, the opium.
Like
Yeah,
the
you knew
second,
where you were headed, and
Yeah.
I think that they did a great job of like giving you that entire conversation scene with Willem Dafoe's character earlier on in the film, but not like screaming to you, "This is the foreshadowing. This is what's going to happen." Like I thought it was really, really well handled, and like this is important, but I'm not telling you this is exactly what you need to be paying attention to.
Yeah. And Bradley Cooper has this moment when he takes a second drink and he's like, "Oh, I've fallen for it."
Yeah.
And he just starts laughing, and that's like
Not
the
even that.
final
Like that was the thing is like I love that last line where he's like, "I was born for it," and like he knows, like he's come full circle on like always acknowledging he was a piece of shit, and he's like, "This is how bad of a piece of shit I am. This is what I am."
One of the things I love about his character is like when we first see him in the first scene in the movie, we see him like with the body, he puts in the thing, lights the fire, leaves the house burns, and you're like, did he murder? What he did, but he didn't kill his own dad violently. He just opened the window, stole the blanket, and he's like, I'm gonna let you freeze to death. Just
It's
like
still
because
It's pretty much you're torturing that guy.
But exactly, Ben. That's exactly the
Yeah.
point I was saying earlier. Is that like he believes himself not to be a man of violence. He's a piece of shit and he's a murderer, but he's not a man of violence.
Yeah.
Until he
and then-
is.
yeah.
that was so rough, dude. That
like
he
the
takes the
second-
blanket from his dad. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's messed up. And the second, I freaking just love it when he's like, he goes to the carnival and he talks and he sees Enoch and his radio, and it's like, oh man, his original carnival folded. But just the second the guy's like, oh, from one carny to another, it's like this job's like, you're falling for it. And he, in the realization, the laughing, like the cry laughing that he does, and he's like, just the realization that he's fallen so far from grace and he's the person he's always meant to be was just like, ouch.
And again, he's like,
you feel bad, but you don't.
it's only temporary. Like he knows that line. He was told with that
Like
line.
he's shaking the bottle.
So the thing that I really enjoyed was that throughout the film he's always asked, "Would you like a drink?" I don't drink.
Never.
Throughout the movie, I never drink, and that's very apparent. It's always called out. Oh, you don't drink. Like there's always a fine point on it. And then when he takes the drink from Kate Blanchett, it's the music kind of like swells a little bit. It's a subdued moment, but it's a moment of terror because you can see him taking the drink and you're like, wait a second, I thought you don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's very well done because like that's the misstep, right?
Yeah.
That's when she knows she's already
she's
won.
in the bag, baby. Oh,
Like
yeah.
she's got him because,
dirty, rotten
because
scoundrel
he trusted he went too far in his trust of her. He let it slip.
She's the MVP. She's so good in this movie. Like my favorite scenes are when like she's analyzing him and like he's unknowingly like revealing stuff about himself. Like
Yeah.
gosh, she's so spicy in this.
I'm really glad he didn't get to kill her.
Yeah, I was.
That's what I was saying earlier. She just oozes bad bitch energy.
It's
And you love
interesting because he plays off this idea like he knows this is a grift, right? He took he thought to himself, what happened to this guy isn't going to happen to me, because he's like, you got to be careful you don't start believing it. If you do this long enough, you do. And he's always like, no, I know this is a grift. I know this is a grift. And he constantly says it. But he is so aware of his own, he's trying to be so aware of his own slip up of this not being a grift anymore, that he misses the fact that it's happening to him the exact same way.
Yes, 100%. That's very clearly there. Talking about some of the carnival people we get early on, love Tawny Collette, love her husband Pete, great characters.
Oh, poor Pete, alcoholic, dead Pete.
Really, really great performance. There.
Major, the little guy, he's so nice.
Ron Perlman, Rooney Mara, Willem Dafoe, everybody fantastic over at the carnival. Loved all those characters. That's the thing is like, we go back to, I wouldn't cut anything because you'd be cutting one of these.
I'll tell you what, like I said to you, like I almost wish this was like a mini series, because like it isn't a real problem, but I do wish that we had more time between Bradley Cooper and Rooney Mara's character to develop. And I get it's like, oh, it's like young love and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there's a lot of the movie they spend together when they don't spend a lot of the time together at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not like a super detriment. But like I would have liked more time at the carnival.
This definitely plays into like the older film aspect that Del Toro's absolutely going for, which is like you don't think of it as like I'm building sequel franchise kind of material. So it's always that I'm giving the full story that I have to give right now, which contributes to the fact of the length of this. And so with that being said, like there's not enough here, right, to warrant a miniseries necessarily, because you'd be extrapolating beyond the like you could, but you'd be forcing a lot new out of this. It wouldn't be what he's going for, right? It wouldn't be for that film sense. And this is very much that kind of relationship dynamic of a guy who has more or less seen something pretty, seen a young lady that he wants to take advantage of, and he does so, but like the moment he has it is the moment that he stops being really invested and interested in it, and he reneges on that pretty quickly. And that's a common trope, and I think they do a pretty good job of recreating it while still giving Molly agency.
There's the bit where he reads the sheriff from Supernatural. What's his name?
Yes. Bobby.
There's that bit's really good.
I do like that. I love the execution of like him doing more and more, building into the carnival, that he's like really honestly picked his target as Molly. That's my gateway for my partnership to get myself out of here and make myself even bigger than what this place is.
At the beginning, I thought this was a much more sinister movie than it ended up being. I thought he was going to be like, I'm here to kill all these carnival people one by one without them knowing it, and like I'm going to pick. Well,
I thought because I figured that he would be the geek by the end of it. Like I kind of started to think, okay, what's happening here? Is this a supernatural thing? Like, what is happening? Is he now trapped in this carnival because like Willem Dafoe like clocked him? He's like he's going to be, and that's going to start happening. Like he's going to start torturing Willem Dafoe, and then it didn't go in either of those directions. And I was very happy with the direction it went. But like I was constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop at the carnival in some way.
Yeah, I was waiting for Enoch, the Cyclops boy, to come alive.
Yeah,
every time.
I was expecting or even then. So there's a line that Petey says about how if you go too deep, like his whole worry about don't do the spook show. Like if you do the spook show, then you're just gonna keep lying and lying, and then you're gonna believe the lie is real. And then when I was for a second, I thought like at near the climax of the film when he realizes the money is all ones and he's broke. He doesn't have the thousands or the millions or whatever that can fit in that bag. When he knows he's cooked, and Kate Blanchett says this is the final therapy session. I'm like, did any of this really happen? Was any of this all real? That was because that was my thought. Because I went back to Petey saying that you go too far deep, you're gonna believe your own lies, and then you're not gonna find reality anymore. So I was like, is this where we get the weird supernatural stuff in the beginning? Or, I mean, turns out we don't. But at the same time, it was still a satisfying film. It was still still a really good movie.
Something I love about the carnival folks is that you get this conning is okay, but deceiving is wrong. And they draw a fine line on that. And I really appreciate that, don't do a spook show. If we've taken it too far because we had to create a good show, we tell the truth to the person who we've taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really a valuable separation that they create between what they're doing and what he's willing to do. And I think that really works as a strong through line throughout the entire film.
Yeah. As we see, another scene I've been wanting. Sparks. Another scene just popped in my head because you mentioned about how when Manzina comes clean to the lady. The scene that just shook me to quite a bit was the murder-suicide.
Sure.
Oh my God. I saved the marriage. He saved the marriage.
Yeah, and he was like, yes, and like the judge was like, yes, man. She's like, we've been thinking, and then she just pulls the gun, shoots him, and then she's like, I'm coming, Julian, and she shoots herself. I'm just like,
yes.
I mean, technically, that marriage is saved in heaven, I guess.
Right.
What an insane role. What a small but powerful role for Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, tough. Very tough.
Both the parents from Step Brothers had really good roles in this movie.
Yeah, they did. A little reunion.
Well utilized characters for sure.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I know we talked about it already, but Richard Jenkins really off-putting and unsettling. Like this dude is clearly unhinged, but he's super rich, so he can do what he wants. And
tragically sad.
Tragically sad. He has a crazy past that he's trying to atone for, but he's getting grifted for it. What a crazy story.
I want to bring up a cameo I noticed in the film. Tendo from Pacific Rim was in this.
He was.
He was one of the carnies.
He was one of the carny barkers. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clifton Collins Jr. Yes, that guy. Yeah, he's in a lot.
Mr. Torchwood.
Yeah.
Really quick side note. A guy who played Ezra. You said his name 5 seconds ago. What was it?
Richard
Wait, hold
Jenkins.
on. He's not the Torchwood dude. Sparks, you said he was the Torchwood dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. That's the British guy. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the guy who does the
The guy
control
Westworld.
panels.
Oh, gotcha.
Westworld guy.
Yeah.
Latino guy.
Because the Torchwood guy is. We're talking about Pacific Rim, but
I know.
the Torchwood guy is one of the doctors.
Anyways, but yeah, what was Ezra's name? His real name? The guy
Richard
who played
Jenkins?
Ezra?
Richard Jenkins.
Richard, yeah. Just like seeing his beard for some reason, I'm like, dude, this guy could play like Charles Darwin. He looks exactly like him with the beard.
Yeah, he's got a spooky, scary old man beard. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, that was the only thing I was gonna say. Other than that, he was terrifying to be in his. Like the second we see him in that empty room, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna go that way now.
Yeah. The more I think about it, I did enjoy it. Like, it's not again, like I don't know what it is that I'm not totally loving. But it's just like there's something that's keeping it from being like super, like I love it. I really like it, but I can't tell you why I dislike it so much. I think it's just like the length isn't justified all the time. And I know it's an old movie, but like still 2.5 hours of my life. So like I think it's just like it might be a little too long for me.
It's weird. The more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I love it. But at the same time, the less I want. I don't want to rewatch. I don't have.
I'm definitely never going to rewatch it. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I don't have
there's
the
a sense that
version.
I totally agree with Ryan. The idea that like I have nothing bad to say about the movie. Honestly, it just didn't quite work for me the way I would have liked it to.
Yeah, a lot of like again. I'm very thankful to have like a beautiful movie like this even come out. I'm glad that they still let Del Toro have big budget-esque movies.
Well, now he's Oscar-winning director doing with Del Toro, so you can't
You
say
wouldn't
no.
think about it with the way this movie was released.
Yeah, that's true. All right, shall we rate?
I think that this film probably would have been like wow factored even harder if it had actually just been black and white. It was filmed very clearly, like it easily could have been. All the lighting is in the appropriate places to do so.
Oh yeah.
And like it's nice to see it in color. I think like the fact of what it's going for, if it had been black and white, I think I might have enjoyed that. Just like hardcore, just go for what you're
Honestly,
going for.
I think I might too.
Yeah.
And I'm like gonna raise it still highly.
It'd be that
but,
like it's still a good movie, but
Yeah.
like that niche of like it being unique in that fashion as well, especially because it was clearly made with that eye, probably would have put it over just because of the uniqueness of it.
Yeah.
Shall I rate it then?
Rate time.
Yeah,
Brandon, you go first.
Yeah, Ben, you go first.
7.5.
Ryan, you go next. All right, 1 second. Let me drink.
So Ben, you go next.
I'm gonna give it an 8.0 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it
I also.
I'm gonna give it 8.5.
Wow. I'm an 8. I'm also an 8.
Hell yeah, good movie. Thanks, Guillermo.
All right, shall we get into our?
As an exercise in filmmaking, I think it's almost.
Oh, it's like a 10. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I love looking at it. 100%.
Should we get into our book club then?
I've got some ties. Boba Fett.
All right, so we're talking about. I picked. So it's my turn. So it's Star Wars Boba Fett Blood Ties. I have it collected in this kind of like big Boba Fett collection, but it's only 4 issues. Written by Tom Taylor. Let me get the artist because I cannot pronounce his name. Written by Tom Taylor with art by Chris Scalf.
Scalf. Got it.
They did. There's 2 Blood Ties, but we only talked about the first one.
A single tie, a single blood tie.
So what do we think about this?
I thought it was a very enjoyable book. I don't think it's breaking any boundaries, doing anything extraordinary, but I thought it was a fun, good read.
Sparks of Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably echo about the same. Like, I like it. I think it is a unique idea.
I like the idea more than anything.
I like Boba encountering the son of him. I think that's the best part of it, is like him encountering the son of one of the clones. Like, we've seen in Clone Wars the idea of a clone going off and starting a family, and I think maybe more effectively explored as far as like the intention behind that. But like what this is for Boba and how Boba handles like knowing how Jango felt about this and taking on his own to fight for this person, and if nothing else, I think the story's all worth it for that build up to the moment of their interactions with each other, leading to. I've got like 3 quarters. I put a bounty on this guy. Will you accept? And like, Boba would never accept.
I
accept. What? Like Boba, maybe one of Boba's best badass moments I've ever seen.
Something
so, like, a real good one.
that's nice that kind of carries over. Even though this came out many years later from the Book of Boba Fett, like there's some good comedy that the Fetts have. Like they both got some jokes in them. I'm like, all right.
But Boba Fett has kind of like this cold humor to him. Like he knows his stuff, and like the League of Bounty Hunters, they keep mogging because like, why would you do this?
That's
So
honestly
stupid.
that's probably my favorite thing is like this shitty bounty hunter with his League of Bounty Hunters trying to make something of himself, and everyone's like, you're not making anything of yourself. I love it. Ben,
Yeah.
what do you think about this?
I feel like this is one of Tom Taylor's weaker outings. It's not bad. Not
It's also one of his first. So that
It's also
helps.
one of his first.
Okay, there we go. I enjoyed it. It took me a while to try and piece together that it was a son of a different clone, and because at first I'm like, is this like a son of Boba Fett that he also had, or because it took me a while to piece together.
They say it in the first issue.
They very clearly, yeah.
I don't know how you got lost on that one.
I don't know.
That's weird. Yeah, they say like
they do the whole setup of them killing his dad, and then Boba encounters him later.
Yeah.
Did I just like
You must
forget
have
that one on
missed
the
this
screen.
page.
Hold on.
So in the first issue, Boba helps Jango catch and kill what he didn't realize was a clone at the time.
Yeah.
And then years later, when he's his own bounty hunter, he finds out that Jango had set up like money for
A trust fund.
a trust fund essentially for this son of a clone because he felt kind of bad.
Yeah.
They even say the kid's name is Connor Freeman.
Oh.
And then when he's a bounty hunter, we get to the part where it's like, what's this bounty for? Connor Freeman.
Ben, did you see the part where Jango makes Boba run from a giant dragon beast with a jetpack?
Did you read the second volume?
Did you read this book?
I read the first volume. Yeah, only 4 issues, right?
Yeah, and you saw the dragon, right?
Does this page look familiar to you at all?
No.
Oh, Ben.
Ben, real quick, did you read Star Wars Blood Ties,
Ties?
or did you read Star Wars Blood Ties: The Death of Boba Fett?
Blood Ties Death of Boba Fett.
No, Blood Ties.
No, you read the wrong book. At least you read a cool Boba Fett book. Real quick. So I think the art is hit or miss. Certain faces look really good, and then certain faces is like, you know what? I'm not going to fix this one. Some of them look real bad. It's painterly, so like it's I get it. It's fine.
Yeah. So Ben, I now understand why you got confused about the kid, because that's the first volume is all about that kid.
So there's a great thing where Jango is training Boba, and he puts him in a cave, and he's like, come back with a tooth, not realizing he has to fight a giant dragon. And there's a great three panels of just Boba screaming, ah! And then he comes out with a tooth, and he's like, I'm proud of you, boy.
Yeah, this is the
It
dragon
seems
thing.
like solid Jango parenting.
Yeah, like throwing your son into the water without floaties.
I haven't really said like my overall thoughts on this. I actually really like this. I thought this was a lot of fun. I thought I really like the portrayal of Boba Fett in this. Like I can hear Tamara Morrison kind of in this. Even though the portrayal is different, but like I can feel like he's having fun playing like the badass, overpowered Boba Fett.
I love the League of Bounty Hunters comedy around them and how they're dwindling in numbers and kind of becoming pathetic, and everybody pointing it out. I'm like, this is good Star Wars humor that really does work.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
talking about the League of Bounty Hunters. I'm like, wait, League of Bounty Hunters? No, they were hired by a governor. I was like, I was getting very confused.
There's a line, Ben, real quickly. So there's a line where it's Boba Fett and the kid and Connor Freeman, and then the line of all the bounty hunters, and they're just having a conversation because they're like, Boba, we'll kill you. And it's like, you'll try. And then there's just like, well, no one else is going to attack it. And then Bosk just shows up and walks through the panel. It's like,
hell yeah.
Boba. What's up, Boba? And then pieces out.
Yeah, Bosk is just like, man, ain't worth doing this.
Just leaves. The line is just Bosk. It's just like Fett, Bosk. And then he says, you're not hard to find. You drink at the same bar all day, talking about Connor, but you're not worth enough for me to get in the middle of all this. And he just goes, have fun with the stupid dead bounty hunters, Fett.
Yeah, there's like 7 or 8 bounty hunters across from Boba, and like they definitely think they've got Boba handled, and Boba's like, you ain't shit.
There are only 2 of you left. How are you guys still a league? The League of Bounty Hunters will never die. Like, that's just stupid comedy.
Even when there's one of them, it's just like, you owe the league this money. There's more than one of you.
There is one line that I think is really good, and it's when Connor's talking to Boba. And he's like, what? You think your father loved you? I know my father's face well, and it was the exact same face as yours. You're every bit the cold, heartless killer Jango Fett was. You're not a son. You're a product. That hurts because he feels it.
Yeah.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, that's why he rebuttals with him. Like, I didn't feel anything. You're right. I am.
When I killed your daddy,
I didn't feel anything when I shot your dad in the head through the window.
What a rude boy.
You're son of a bitch.
There's definitely good stuff in here. It is very brisk, which is not a bad thing. It is a nice, fluffy story. I do really enjoy the clone idea.
I don't think it overstays its welcome.
No. Yeah. I mean, the Bad Batch is probably giving me this, but I'm like, this is something like I kind of want more of, which I guess that's a show I want to watch.
There's the two narrations of Boba Fett and Connor talking about how they want to make their dads proud. And they're like, we're trying to make dead men proud, and like that's how the thing ends, Ben. Real quickly, so you see the face of Jango and his father, and in the sky, and just as they're parting ways, and just trying to make a dead man proud.
Yeah, and at the end, after they kill the creature, he's like, I gotta collect a tooth.
Yeah,
it's for his daddy. Oh.
Yeah. At the end, he's like, Boba Fett always collects. You owe me three coins.
It feels completely consistent with Jango and Boba as characters and who they were and who they are, and I think it is nice to have like this direct and personal confrontation with like a son of a clone. I think it's pretty cool.
There's nothing in here that contradicts it being like real, right? Like it's legends or whatever, but like there's nothing in here that's like Grogu or shit.
Yeah,
so like
definitely happen.
Like this could be like, this is part of the canon, and I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about. I'm actually
Death of Boba Fett. So the Empire.
I see a Zabrak.
Yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, he's okay. So, an imperial governor puts a hit out on Boba Fett, but he doesn't want it to make it trace back to him because he is like what's the word? And he's not psychotic, but he's determined to erase all traces of Fett and Fett's family because we realize that he has a wife.
Fett has a wife?
Oh, what?
Yep, Fett has a wife, but then he left, and I guess it's like, Star Wars version of divorce. Or
that explains the first. Okay, so in this collection, the first thing that's collected is Star Wars Tales number 7, and I was just looking through it. I didn't read it, but there's a family picture of Boba Fett and a woman, and he like walks off on her, and I'm like, what could that mean? It's weird that there's a Mandalorian. He has a wife
and a daughter.
Not anymore.
That's nuts.
Also, so the daughter is really badass because she like smokes like 5 people gunning for Connor Freeman.
She smokes people?
Like she takes a big gun and just shoots them dead.
Sorry. You thought it.
I was thinking about the Scary Movie 2 Blunt.
Oh, but that is no. I prefer that one too. Definitely that one.
No,
sorry.
This is about 11 years old.
Smoking fools. Got it.
Anyways, yeah. So
that's allowed.
Fett the galaxy thinks that Fett's dead, but Fett, of course, finds a way around it, and he is going after murdering all the people who try to kill him. But it comes back to this governor, is the dad of essentially his wife, or his wife.
Family drama.
Yeah, and he actually straight up says, "I will not rest until they're all dead, including his daughter and grandchild."
I think I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, it's like
I'm gonna read this.
Yeah, but of course, then Connor gets to where Connor gets there, and the wife is like, "You remind me of something." Then she actually makes out with him, and when they get out, they start walking away, and Boba's like, "You kissed my wife." He's like, "Well, she's not your wife anymore, dude." And she's like, "Yeah, you're right about that."
Oh,
how's my daughter?
Young Connor made out with the MILF?
Yeah.
What a
All right.
baller! Good. I might read that too, Connor. You little
Yeah.
savage.
Oh yeah, and also, oh man, is this? Oh yeah, Connor also his bar gets blown up and he loses an arm.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the
Getting naughty.
Dexter Jetster guy's bar.
Yeah,
oh, the
yeah,
Dexter
he blows
Jetster
up.
guy.
It
Yeah.
gets blown up.
I like him in the first volume because he's just like, you got a gun back there? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I got you.
But if you shoot anyone else, you got to pay their tab.
It's
But-
on there.
But you guys were talking about how there's some good humor. There was one scene about the 4 issues I read, which I really thought was funny, was Boba is trying to, like, Boba sees Darth Vader for like a hot second, but he's in stormtrooper armor, and Vader is just like, how could he's like, and Boba's just like lying his ass off just to get anywhere, and then he goes into the barracks or the armory with a bunch of stormtroopers who are like having a fight club, and one of the guys is like, hey, I know the guy who wore that armor, you're not him, and is like, and he yells out this order is like, troopers, attack formation 7, and they all get into line into this phalanx of blasters all aimed at Boba, and then Boba gives like, you guys do attack formation 7 from grenades, and he goes, what? Panel of nothing, next panel with a blaster bolt, and everyone gets blown up except for Boba.
Oh yeah, I see that. I'm looking at that right now.
I might. That sounds all right.
Yeah,
I like
it
this
was-
just enough to read some more. Real quick, does the Mandalorian show up at all in these 2 issues at all?
No.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I mean, Boba's a Mandalorian. I guess he wasn't in the original continuity.
And his wife and Connor do wear Mandalorian armor for a hot second.
Cool.
So,
Oh, I'm glad
Well-
you liked it, even if it wasn't the right one.
I mean, I still enjoyed it. I mean, because when you guys were talking about it, I was like, okay, because I did read this at very obscene hours in the morning. But at the same time, I was like, it was a fun, engaging read. I mean, I didn't think it was Tom Taylor's best work, but once again, now that I know this is earlier work, I can forgive that. But it was still a fun legend story. It's like, because I remember, it still harkens me back to when I used to constantly shit on Boba Fett. Now I think Boba Fett is a badass character. Even in the legend stuff, I really like his legend stuff now. Even the one book, even though it was the wrong book that I read, I still think it was really cool. And
wait, so you've read exactly one Legends thing of Boba Fett?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ben, there's literally like a 1,000-issue War of the Bounty Hunters series that's been going on for 20 years over at Marvel. You should check.
Yo, that's already out of print. Can you believe
it's
that?
still going on forever. Why is that not over?
It was well, it is over. They're doing the Rain, the one that brings back Crimson Rain, the one that brings back Kira.
Yeah.
War of the Bounty Hunters is over. But yeah, War of the Bounty Hunters was printed, only had one trade print run, and now it's completely out of print because of the paper shortage. Wild. Can't even pick it up anymore.
Damn.
Oh, well.
I mean,
An event that happened a year ago.
it'll be back.
Marvel Unlimited.
Sure.
Well, that's pretty cool. I guess I like it.
Yeah, this was brief. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I really liked the how the story played out and some of the badass moments, like with the Rancor and the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, well that'll do it. Sparks, what's your book club next week?
My book club is Star Wars: The High Republic, Volume 1, Issues 1 through 5. Ben, The High Republic, not The High Republic Adventures. The High Republic, Issues 1 through 5. Who? Kevin Scott and
I got it.
Scott,
You got it.
Kevin Scott, Ario Anandito, and Mark Morales.
there you go.
I mean, I have those issues, but also I have Marvel Unlimited. But okay, High Republic, not High Republic Adventures. Thank you for the clarification.
And for those of you trade people, it is the High Republic. There is no fear.
Woo! Star Wars month.
Excuse me.
All right.
I'm actually really excited because I remember before the High Republic started, I was so excited, and then I abandoned ship. So I'm excited to finally dive in, see what all these crazy Wookiee Jedi are about.
All right. So that'll
Sure, I don't goof this up again.
Don't goof up.
that'll.
We
Yeah,
definitely need to
Magazine,
get
take
better.
care.
We definitely
You too,
need to
Meg.
get better about book clubs where when we start and we're like, yo, I feel like I'm missing something here in the story. Just ask the group because we did this with Vox Machina too.
Once a year, once a year this happens, and it's really funny.
And we're always like, were you all as confused? And it's like,
when I went to
no,
the
we
when I
read
went to
right
the
thing.
part when I went to the place where we read these books, I typed in Boba Fett blood ties, and that was
I
the
knew-
first thing that
I
popped
knew,
up.
you,
that was
I
the
knew you
problem.
made this mistake because I did it too.
I did
and then
too.
I erased it and said Star Wars blood ties,
Yep.
and then found the correct thing.
Because I did the same thing, and I look, and I always, because of you, Brandon, because you always post up the picture. I
Mhm.
always look at the picture on the Fake Nerd Instagram before I read a book, because I'm like, is this? Because I'm that Vox Machina happens.
I'm glad that's helpful for someone.
It is.
Put that. Nope, not the right one. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Put the
Boom.
pressure on Brandon so that every time now he's like, "Is this the right picture?"
Is it?
Saved in my library. There.
So that'll do it for this episode of the Fake Nerd Podcast. Next week, we're going to be talking about a what if scenario, what the ramifications would be should Lucasfilm retcon the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. Stay tuned for that. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to...
Keyword there being if.
Yeah, we're doing a what if discussion. What if?
What if something bad happens?
Well, that is technically the plot of every what if.
That's not true. Party Thor is just a good time.
But then something bad happened at the end of that because they can't...
but that's not what that story is about. That's what a different story is about.
That's true. I hated that. Let's divert. But I hated that interview. It was like, yeah, all the what if shows have to end with a bad thing happen because it can't be better than the MCU timeline. I'm like, you're wrong.
Not the T'Challa Star-Lord. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, ego. But
Yeah.
Clearly they were fine. It wasn't a big deal.
Give it 10 minutes and then it's bad.
Okay. So I'm just saying what the guy said. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. You can check out all sorts of things that we put out, such as our Fake Nerds Watch series, where we are currently going through. Well, I am currently going through once again with Michael Carl's The Downright Nerdy Podcast, and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast will be joining us. We're going through Star Trek Discovery now that it is back from its mid-season break. So stay tuned. So check that out. That'll be up soon. Star Wars Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett. That's coming up this week. A Fake Nerds Watch for that. There's a whole thing. And Peacemaker's coming. We're going to record the Peacemaker one after this final episode, so stay tuned for that. And check out our Basement Arcade series. Mortal Kombat X, a new episode I'm sure is upcoming.
Yep.
Such as Basement Arcade Pause Menu, I'm sure a new episode is coming this week.
Nope. I've decided it's on hiatus.
Okay.
Just like that.
Sorry, Ben.
Okay.
That's what you get when you don't edit your own shit.
I guess.
Oh.
I'm kidding. All right. Fake Nerd Book Club, Animation Station. Check those out. Crafted by Z Masks. We've got some masks still available. You can check those out in the link in the description. Our Patreon and our TeePublic is still a place where you can support us financially. Both those links are available below, or you can check out our website at fakenerdpodcast.com, where you can find links to all of our shows, all of our Patreon, our TeePublic, everything's there. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci. No. I mean,
No.
yes. But thank you to our listeners. Thank you to the people who listen to the show. Thank you to the people who watch the live stream. And thank you to the people who watch the rewind. We greatly appreciate all your support. We love you guys. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci, as I mentioned before. You can find him on Instagram at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards. He does all of the music that you've heard tonight and all the music for all of our shows. And you can find his podcast, Suburban Proctologist, at facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official or Instagram at Subproc Podcast. Of course, you can find the show on iTunes. Thank you to Mike Matola. He did a couple of our logos. Great guy. Does some great art. You can find him on TikTok and Instagram. All at Mike Matola. He's put up some very funny TikToks, reels.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. I also write for Screen Rant, and I'm doing revisiting the Infinity Saga series on Atomic Geekdom, and I'm an editor for Kaiju Ramen. Ben?
You can find me trying to balance my life with my PlayStation 5 at BenMac27 on Instagram and Twitter. Also writing for OldSchoolGamerMagazine.com and the magazine itself. Writing for GoNintendo.com once that starts up. And finally, Fusion Gaming Magazine.
Sparks?
You can find me at SparksWitty on Instagram and Twitter, and only at those places because I have nothing else to contribute to society.
What? You're the most important person in my life outside of my girlfriend.
Wow. That really says more about you than it does about me.
Oh, Ryan.
You can find me at DJ Tony Snark everywhere because I also don't do anything because I'm lazy and you don't deserve it.
That's the true answer. They don't deserve
There you go. Earn it, bitches.
it. Subscribe to us on.
Subscribe to my Patreon so I can call you a piece of shit.
Yeah. I'll also give you a ship in a bottle, bitch.
When you reach a certain level of followers, you'll release your Ghost Rider video.
You know what? Every day I wake up going, I'm going to work on that video, and then it doesn't happen.
Hey man, take your time.
Yeah, it'll happen.
It's the miracle. We call it bad miracle.
Childbirth?
What?
I don't know.
I would actually.
Rorschach test, bing bong. I don't know.
This is Fake Nerds After Dark, people. We hate childbirth.
We've gone too.
I don't want to have a baby. I'm just saying.
We've gone too far.
Personally, give birth. That's what I'm saying.
All right, subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music and Podcasts, and Pandora. Rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time you see us, stay fake nerds.